Hello, how are we all doing? Hope we're well. Oh, sorry, I was panicking off screen because I was thinking I'm wearing my jeans and I really needed to dispatch the stretchy trousers, but I was trying to work out if I had enough time to run to the top floor of my house and then back, and then I thought I might end up like being half through the first part of the live stream, pulling up my joggers. So I thought it's probably not really nice for you guys. I hope you're all doing well. I have poured myself a rather flat-looking beer. You think I know a bit better, but it's only one lager that I've got. But in the fridge, we have many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got a lot of Guinness. So I thought tonight could be a bit of a Guinness live stream. So yeah, we've got some guests coming on tonight. Paul's beer reviews is coming on, Chris's beer reviews, and they're up to all sorts of stuff at the moment, so they'll be telling you about that. So I know. Do you know? I honestly thought today was Wednesday, and then I found out that today is in fact Tuesday. So I thought, sack it. Why not? I'll just carry on. I'll have a beer anyway. So here we are. Whew. So since I've been cast to the bowels of YouTube, it's been pretty slow on live streams. But I haven't done it in a long time, so I'm guessing it'll take a little while to build back up. I've got some jobs to do in my car. Although Lydia has taken to stealing my car, so she says your Mercedes is an old car, an old man's car to be specific, and she didn't want me to buy it, but she seems to drive it more than I do. So I have been left with her horrendously disgusting VW Tiguan that I feel like I need to wear a hazmat suit when I drive. MTB Laura says, is that because Jeff said it was Wednesday? It might have had something to do with it. Because I saw that, I was like, Wednesday? Oh, yeah, it probably is Wednesday. And then my wife said to me, no, it's Tuesday. So today, I don't know what you've been up to, Laura. Probably mountain biking, judging by your crash helmet. But today I have been. What have I been doing? I have been doing my CPC, which stands for. No, hang on a minute. Something professional certificate, something like that. Competent professional certificate. I have no idea, but all I know is there's lots of stuff on there, and it's very boring, but some of it is quite useful. So yeah, I've been going through that. In Australia, at least. Are you in Australia? Another Australian. We've got our mate Trav. He comes on here quite a lot. He's Australian. He is currently on a big job at the moment, so he's normally very loud, is our Trav, but we haven't heard from him from a little while because he's been on a big old job. I attempted to learn Australian football the other night, and I was watching it, and I can't work it out. It's got a round pitch with 4 posts, and yeah, I wasn't quite sure what was going on, if I'm totally honest. So yeah. There you go. I've got all my service parts in for the Merc. So, where is the box? I've got a big shelf full of stuff here, and I can't remember where I put all the stuff. Where did I put it? Oh, I bet it's on the bottom shelf. So, I bought all the proper stuff from Mercedes-Benz. So, get this. I ring Mercedes, and I want a service kit for the Merc. And bearing in mind, so this Mercedes that I bought is an old one. An old E-Class, but it has got every service from brand new at the main dealer. And I've noticed something with the car that I don't like. And I thought, I need to sort that. But it could be potentially extremely expensive and could that be the reason why they offloaded the car? I don't know. But basically, I contacted Mert to buy a service kit and was quoted an absolute fortune for the parts. I went onto eBay and there was a Mercedes dealer, main dealer, selling parts on eBay. I bought the same service kit for a quarter of the money. Outrageous. So yeah, that was a bit of a rip-off. And also, but I'll tell you about the problem I've got with it. If I can find the part, which I've got a feeling is possibly not. No. You know what? I think it's in the other cupboard in the house. So basically, what it does on my Mert, it's got a timing chain. So it's the same engine as the Mercedes Sprinter van, basically, and the timing chain is at the back of the engine. I did not know this. I had in my head it was at the front, but it's at the back. And when you first start it, for about 3 seconds until oil pressure builds, you get a bit of a rattle from the chain. And some days it's not too bad. Some days it sounds worse, and it depends. My driveway's got a bit of a steep on It's got a bit of a steep. It's got a bit of a slope on it. So sometimes it sounds worse than other days. I don't know if that's in my head. Anyway, I did a bit of reading. Some people say you should buy a new timing chain and have that done and the 2 gears on the camshaft. So I got a quote from a local specialist, £700 job. So I thought, I don't want to do that. Then I spoke to somebody else at a main dealer. It was the last place that serviced it. So they take the engine and the gearbox out, and it costs £2,500. So I'm definitely not doing that because I only paid £4 for the car. Then I saw some information, spoke to somebody who does a lot of work for ambulance services, and he told me, don't put a chain on it if it's an old car and you're not going to spend loads of money on it. If it doesn't rattle when it's running, which it doesn't, it's completely silent. He said the early ones, which mine is, the tensioner has 2 holes in it and it doesn't build. Wow, can you hear that? That is one low helicopter. It feels like it's about to land on the shed. Goodness me, that's loud. Yeah, anyway, yeah, basically the old tensioner has 2 holes. The new updated tensioner has 4 holes. And basically, when the cars get old and the oil pump's not as efficient as it once was, it needs a few more holes in the tensioner just for that initial start. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to be doing that on the channel soon. In the basement, we have somebody crazy.
Crazy.
Oh, it's outrageous.
Crazy.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm doing all right, mate. I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm all right. I've had a really good day today.
Awesome. What have you been doing?
I've been doing many things. So what did I do? I did a load of snagging stuff on the house that I had to email off. So I've done that. That took a while.
Nice.
I have programmed all the lights in our bedroom correctly now.
Okay.
So you stayed in my room, not with me, but it was very cozy.
That's what happened. That's definitely what happened.
So you know all those bulbs in the wall things are all controlled by the interweb net.
Yes.
So I kept meaning to do it and never got around to do it, but I wanted to program it. So Liz gets up in the morning at like 5. She turns the lights on and I'm like awake, or she has to walk around in the dark. So I programmed it so the light at the bottom of the stairs comes on, and then the light on her side of the bed and near the stairs just comes on 10% until later on, and then they all come on and then they all go off again. And then they come on at night at thingamajig. What's it called? Sunset.
Sunrise, sunset.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been exciting. And then I did a load of CPC training, which was over 4 hours of staring at a computer.
I say it's hard work, isn't it? That course, by all accounts, getting all that done before you're ready to be unleashed on the motorway and the blimmin' HGV.
I know. Can you believe that they're letting me drive a truck?
No.
So
No.
I don't know what it is, Paul. We used to do live streams on this channel, and we get loads of people in.
Mm.
Now, since I did a live stream about the truckers, I can barely make it above 3 people.
They've abandoned you.
I think YouTube has sent me into the realms of the bowels of YouTube.
Yeah, you've been kicked into the pit at Sparta.
It's true.
And no one knows what's at the bottom of that pit, and that's where they sent you. And apparently this is it. It's just a couple of balding, middle-aged men chatting on the internet to one another.
It's true.
But I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. I'm cool with that.
What have you been up to anyway?
I've done absolutely nothing today because it was my day off. So plus I've not been well. I've not been well for the last week, and it's been pouring down with rain. So I kind of combined that with not feeling great and decided to have a day of nothing. So I chilled out and watched. What did I do? I watched a couple of movies, hung out with the dog, took him for a walk. I did pop to Sainsbury's, get some shopping because I had no food in the house. But other than that, it's been a really nice, lazy day. Yeah, which was nice. Yesterday I was a bit busier, but it's been a while since I've actually had a day off work and not done anything. So I thought, you know what, it's pouring down with rain. I don't really want to go out much. I'm not feeling great, so I just chilled and thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's got to be done, man. It's got to be done.
Sometimes it has to be done. Just a day of nothing. It's good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. But yeah, I'm gonna crack open a beer because I ain't got a beer in my glass.
Well, I've nearly finished this first one.
What are you drinking?
I have got a fridge full of Guinness.
Oh, nice.
So I've got my Guinness glass,
Guinness.
and I'm going to get that cracked. So I'm going to take my hoodie off because I feel a little bit warm in my shorts.
Yeah, do you know what? I've got a hoodie on as well, and I'm almost thinking that it's not actually cold enough for a hoodie.
I nearly took all my clothes off them by accident.
They took his pants off.
Oh, it's naked.
Oh yeah, bro.
Oh.
I'm gonna have a double IPA.
Ooh.
I'll go in if there's any craft beer people that are interested. Elusive Brewing. They do an excellent West Coast IPA called Oregon Trail.
Yes, they do.
They've released a red version using obviously red malts, and it's a double red. So they've called it the Double Sunset Oregon Trail Double Red IPA. So yes, crack on with that one.
Let me see if I can make my pour cam suitable.
Pour cam.
Not to be confused with pork cam. That would be something very different.
Yeah, it's a completely different thing.
That is quite dark.
Got that lovely aroma coming off of it there.
Oh, beautiful.
Lovely. There's using
There
as
we
well.
go.
Pretty dark.
Right. Crummy, no doubt, will tell me off. Can you see my lawnmower down here?
I can't.
Oh, that's good.
Can't actually make that out. He's on the black stuff. Here we go. Pour cam. Oi, what are you doing, dog? Stop it.
Oh, Chunk's been a tinker in the background.
I've got him here with me. And you know what he's like. He can't sit still. He's found something to stick in his mouth. Oi. Look at the Guinness. Look at it developing.
Chunkinator.
Chunks.
Beautiful.
Come here.
Chunks. You won't see this dog. He was at my house. Hello, Chunks. Hello. He's like, what? He's not looking. Chunks. Hey up. He's like, no.
What's going on? Let me down. Chunks, look, you're
I
on
want
telly.
to play. I want to play.
You're on telly, Chunks. Oh, look at the
He's.
stuff.
I can't get over how big he is. Every time I see him, he gets bigger.
Lump. You're a big old boy, aren't you? Big old boy there.
Mountain Boy Laura says, I'm a new subscriber. I murdered that first comment. I'm a new subscriber. I saw you chatting to Jeff at the Cardiff Farmers protest. Ah, yes, I remember now. Yeah, that was pretty intense.
You drove down there, didn't you, to see what was up?
I did. I thought it was going to be like super wild, but yeah, I don't know what's gone on with my channel. It's just so this is how the views went on my live streams, right? So 73,382, then 1,046, then 8,943, then 1,736, then 545, and then when I did the Welsh farmers, they demonetized it, and it got 429 views.
They demonetized it.
Demonetized it, so I can't make no money off it.
Did they tell you why?
Nope. They just said it's not suitable for ads.
Wow. Why? I mean, there's no language or anything like that. No, you know, no inciting language or anything like that, was there?
No, the only thing I can think is, unless Luke, I know Luke and Window Beer Reviews with Thomas were having some banter in the chat on the way down.
Right.
But I don't think even that was particularly, you know, far worse stuff has been said than that. It was only banter. So it's just, yeah, it's very odd. Laura says, I see lots of YouTubers asking people to unsub and then resub for the algorithm. It could be. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, even my videos, right? I did a video on car theft, and that did. Where is it now? The first one did 84,000 views. And then, see, this is, I think the algorithm didn't know what to do with me at that point. So then the next video, it was like 461, then 1,048. Sorry, 1,480. Then it went down to 235. Then it went up to 14,000. And then it was steadily 1,000 here, 2,000 there. And then all of a sudden, when I got to around the time that it was after I talked about the setting the record straight on the Canadian trucker live stream.
Yeah.
That got shadow banned. They did 130 views, and then ever since then, just died.
Yeah, yeah. What can you say? What can you say without sounding like you have a tinfoil hat on? It's dodgy, isn't it? It is dodgy.
I've got a really. I actually said to Kobe tonight that I should make a tinfoil hat.
Make a tinfoil hat.
Just for the bits when I talk about something that's a bit tinfoil hatty, I can get my tinfoil hat out and just put it on.
Yeah, we could totally do that. Have you seen that film Signs, where they're all sat there on the sofa with their tinfoil hats on that they've made? Because there's a theory that the aliens could read their minds. If they put a tinfoil hat on, they can't do it. We should just do that. We should just do a video where we're all sat with our dodgy tinfoil hats on, with a little aerial at the top, like a Teletubby. That'd be great.
I think that'd be a good look. It's weird though how the world's gone. Like of late. Well, I mean, I say of late. It's been like this since just before COVID. It's just gone bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't handle it, man. I can't watch the news anymore. I certainly can't comment on it, because if you do, you just end up with a row with someone. You can't comment on social media, because you just row with people, and I don't really care enough to be honest. It's not worth rowing about. But yeah, the world's gone bonkers, mate. It has gone bonkers.
Yeah.
There's not even a lot you
Oh,
can say either, is there? You freeze him.
my internet.
You're buffering.
Yeah, only my end. I think I'm on sort of. I've got the internet from the petrol station up the road. I'm just stealing it. No, not really. It's just not very good in this shed sometimes.
There's a gust of wind that flew across the garden there. All of a sudden we lost it.
That's it. I think at the moment for me, I feel like in a lot of things we're just sleepwalking into like almost enslavement. But then you could argue that we're already there. It's just the amount of freedoms that we have are gradually being reduced. I've got a really bad echo.
Echo. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, you just you do. You worry now. You can't. You're not really allowed to say what you feel anymore.
no, no, not at all. I've turned off echo reduction, and now there's no echo.
I'll have a go on mine.
How is that? Yeah, I haven't got an echo now. People don't see. Well, no, I know. I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? I just don't understand. I don't even understand the mentality of the politics sometimes. It's like there's a definitive left and right, but then some of the stuff that the right wingers go after, I just can't understand why they're supporting it. And then on the other side, on the left, things that I would have thought would have been like normal or something that they would prefer, then they don't. And I'm like, am I that out of touch that I just don't understand?
What baffles me at the moment is the common sense. It seems to be becoming aligned with right wing politics. And I'm not a political person. I don't vote. I can hear myself. That's really annoying me.
Well, maybe you press the echo button back. I think maybe one of us has to have it on and not the other.
Right, so I've got echo cancellation on.
What you've got it on
I've got it on
now,
now.
and you can hear yourself.
I can hear myself.
Yeah, I turned it off and then it went. So I don't know why.
Mine off. Now I can't hear it. I can.
I can't hear it.
It's quiet. It's quiet now.
How strange.
That was weird. That was really weird.
Oh no, I can hear myself now. Ah! How? Oh, that's really weird.
What is going on?
Right, try that. No, I can still hear myself.
You don't want to hear yourself. I can't hear myself at all now.
You can't.
No. I've got no echo on me at all now, which is nice. I'm enjoying it. But can you hear yourself?
I can. Oh, yeah. It's like a second delay as well.
Let me. Can you hear yourself now?
No. Lid says the sound is awful. Blue sounds good.
I've just turned echo cancellation back on. I can't hear myself, and you can't hear you now.
I can't hear me now. No.
So from my perspective, that's perfect.
Okay, that works for me. It should sound really good. I mean, it's not like we've both got rubbish mics. We've both got really good microphones.
Yeah, anyone who's chatting, does it sound all right now? I think we just maybe needed to reset it briefly. Perhaps that's done the trick.
Mountain Bike Laura says you both sound good now. Lid said at one point I sounded awful. Sorry, I'm studying how to do live, so this is informative. So basically, it's it, how do we explain, Paul? I make it a live stream way more complicated and convoluted than it needs to be. So if you
Yeah,
want loads of gear and low production quality, I'm your guy.
yeah. I'm like polar opposite. I'm just bare minimum. Bare minimum. If I can hear myself, if it's not echoing, then that's fine with me. It works. Yeah. But apparently,
So
both sound right now.
yeah, that's weird, isn't it? So with me, I've just got this is a fee fine microphone. I've got a PC that's running something called OBS, which is free. You don't have to use that, but the only reason I use it is so that I can like do things like flick cameras. So I can just press that and I can change to this camera. Um, that's kind of the only reason why I use it, and I can adjust the colors um, of my camera. So even if you used a really cheap webcam, you can go into here and you can make it like that, or you can make it really dark, or you could adjust all your how sharp you want it. So you can make it look softer like that, or you can make it look super sharp. So yeah, that's the only reason I kind of use this. Oh, and now I've completely killed my own white balance. There we go.
Gone back to pink now.
I know, right?
I do tinker with other colours every now and then, but I just find blue works best for me.
Well,
I'm
that's
blue.
it. It's whatever works best for you, isn't it? At the end of the day.
I go
So
with
yeah.
blue. I'm blue. Dabba dee dabba die.
Oh look, it's done it again. How weird's that? It's just changed, made me blue. Oh well, maybe blue's the theme.
It's always
My
watching.
computer's got the. Hey, we've got somebody else down here who's more green. He's the sort of the green color. Here he is, handsome
Team green.
devil.
Team green.
Here he is.
Hello.
Hey mate,
How are you? Alright?
I'm
You
all
right?
right. I'm
Hello,
good.
hello.
I'm just going to turn my volume up because you're very quiet. There we go.
You are
We are.
very quiet.
Uh,
Very quiet.
I am also making a complete hash of my camera at the moment.
Never mind.
How are we both? We both good?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all
Yeah,
right.
I'm not too bad, if I'm honest. Um yeah, I'm all right. I got a lot of stuff today done. I don't know if you saw in the comments, but on our WhatsApp, I put that emoji of that puppy like bush, leaf, ball, and it just that's me. I just like I'm focusing on 20 things all the time. And then sometimes I can't do any of it, and I just want to sit there and stare 1,000 yards, stare into the TV.
Fair enough.
Yeah, not now. Studying because you're studying at the moment. I can't do studying. Full stop.
No, it's
I get
hard
so-
work, isn't it?
I get so bored. I get so easily distracted. I
Yeah.
just end up looking off into the distance at things that I've never noticed before. You know, just find any excuse not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
This person here, Life of Darren, absolute legend. So since I started getting involved with trucks, he's got a YouTube channel. If you go over called Life of Darren, go and look him up. And he just vlogs his daily like drives, where he goes, what he does, and then he does a podcast, and it's about now. I'm hoping he's not going to get across and go, "You got it wrong." So what they do is they go, him and his mate go and look at films that are rated less than 5 on the database IMDb.
Yeah,
So all the ones that are low rated, and then they watch them, and then they go back and they decide whether that rating was fair or not, and whether it was actually a good film or whether it was genuinely not a good film. So yeah, I don't know what the podcast is called, but I've been saving some of these podcasts because I thought when I'm in my truck, I'm going to be smashing the podcasts. You know what I mean? So if you want to know anything about driving Arctics, go and head over to Darren's channel.
Life of Dan, check him out. Sounds
He
good
is
to
a
me.
good. That's my wife. She says sounds better now. Yeah, he's
Right,
probably right
yeah.
though. We're not wearing any headphones, are we?
No.
Well, to be fair, it's normally all right though, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, we've never had any real sound issues before, and generally none of us really wear headphones, have we? Never.
Look at Joey. I typed into YouTube, bald YouTube drinking trucker, and you guys are the only result.
Good evening. Good evening.
So, what you drinking? Are you having a beer, Chris, on a Tuesday night?
I certainly am. I am drinking at the moment.
Classic.
Old Faithful.
Yeah.
Absolute classic.
Yeah, I've had a couple tonight. Not, and I only mean a couple. I don't mean that as in I've had a couple and had a shed ton. But yeah, I've had a couple. And then saw you were doing your live, and I thought, why not? It's been a long time since I've been on a live. I think it's been a long time since the three of us have been together on a live. So as I'm not working tomorrow, I am now off for a few days. I thought, well, let's jump on that live and let's have a beer.
Is this going to get wild? Are you at work tomorrow, Paul?
Yeah, but not until midday.
This is going to get messy. This is going to get messy, boys.
I mean, I am in the mood for a few. To be fair, I do fancy a beer today, and
I did get the dreaded flavour earlier. It was about.
It's got the flavour.
I did get the dreaded flavour. It was about.
Mickey Flanagan, mate, a legend.
Oh, he's a legend. Mickey Flanagan is amazing.
You know what happens? You get the flavour, the dreaded flavour.
Dreaded flavour. It got to about. I think it's about 4:15, and I thought I haven't done a beer review on my beer review channel for at least a month, which is quite a long time. I'd done other things, but they were foodie related, and I thought it's about time. I just fell out of love with doing beer reviews on YouTube. I just got a bit, bored. I fell out of love. And I've been drinking, as I said in the chat, I've been drinking kind of German beers, Czech beers, and just generally Pilsner or lager style. And then the other day I popped down to a beer shop in the St Albans and I picked that up from Arbor.
Yeah.
I reviewed it today, and oh my God, did it reignite a craft beer little passion in me again. It was absolutely stunning. I reviewed it. It's up on the channel now, but yeah, that made me realise there's a lot of beers I've been missing over the last few months in my life, and that kind of reignited that little flame, which was really nice.
It's funny how that works, isn't it? Because it's true. You can have just a bit of a funk of just beers that just don't do nothing for you, and all of a sudden you have one, and you're like, "There you go, there you go." That's what it's all about.
Definitely.
I'm on the double red at the moment, and it's rather lovely.
Yeah,
that doesn't drink like an 8% at all. That's quite dangerous. That.
No, yeah, it's very nice, that one. I really enjoyed that when they released it before. Yeah, it's lovely.
I might join you for. I've got a couple of Guinnesses sitting here with me. I might have a Guinness at some point.
Yeah, I've got some Guinness in. I've got the old.
He's got the special ones.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those.
I need to buy some more of those. Actually, my the nitro surge thing. I haven't used it. It needs a run out.
Yeah, like I said to you, Paul, a couple of weeks ago, I had a bit of a heavy session on Guinness. I sat up here one night and just drank nothing but Guinness, and I've never sessioned Guinness in my life, and that was the first time I'd done a session on Guinness. My guts the next day were in turmoil. It was awful. The stomach pains I had the next day and what was coming out was awful.
It's good. It's a good detox for you, whilst giving you extremely high levels of iron.
Well, me and you, John, we had a skinful of that blackjack at your local booth the other week, and yeah, but the colour of my insides couldn't have been good.
Do you know the iron in Guinness thing is actually a myth? I researched that the other day because I did a video on my YouTube channel the other day about, it was beer in a chat video, which I do every now and then, a beer and chat, but it was all about Guinness, and I researched that whole iron thing, and it's not actually true. Back many years ago, doctors were prescribing Guinness to pregnant women because it was rumoured to be full of iron, and iron's good for pregnant women. But it's actually a myth. It isn't full of iron, and Guinness confirmed it themselves. It actually isn't. But doctors were prescribing Guinness to pregnant women, literally giving them a prescription for it.
I wonder how much Arthur Guinness was paying local doctors at the time.
Yeah, because Guinness wouldn't have been saying no to it, would they? They'd be like, cool, fine, if you want to believe that. But it's not actually true. And so, I did quite a lot of research into Guinness recently, and some of the facts and things that were coming out were very, very interesting. But that I loved. I thought the fact that GPs are prescribing alcohol is
I know, right?
To pregnant women as well. It's incredible.
I don't know what to say. That was the only thing that I could encourage my wife. That is the reason why I need to drink it. Now she's watching, and you've just ruined it for me. Tony Two Crow just wanted to say, hey, my friend, how are you doing? Tony Two Crow is my only channel member, and what an absolute legend. This fella started following me during the trucker live stream, and he's an absolute ledge. So thank you, Tony. Do you know what, Tony? At some point, I'll jump on. I'll send you a link, and you and me can just chat and just
virtually meet you, Tony Two Crow.
Yeah, he's a ledge, absolute ledge.
That's
I just realised the plug that was holding my mic in was only halfway in, so that could be why we're having audio problems.
Probably. Your fault again. Okay.
It's always me with technology, isn't it? Every single time.
The audio sounds good. There's a little bit of feedback, but other than that, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know why, because my speakers are turned right down. It's very strange. I don't. They did something on StreamYard, and it's never quite been the same since they kind of adjusted it.
True story.
Facts.
Story.
It's one of those things. So, question. Right, car question.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys seen the new Lotus EV that's come out?
Yes.
No. It's a very good-looking car. It's very beautiful, but it's been advertised as doing like 300 miles range, nearly. So people have bought it, and now they're discovering it barely does 200.
Yeah, wow. But that's standard, isn't it? That's standard manufacturers, isn't it? Oh my God, the feedback is awful now. All I can hear is an echo.
It's so weird. Why is it doing this?
I can hear you as well.
Listen, all of us.
What about now? Is that any better?
I think stop now. That's better.
Yeah, you're not echoing.
But manufacturers have done that since day dot, or they've always said their vehicles can perform X amount of mileage on X amount of diesel or petrol, and it's never been right. They've always lied about performance.
If you're advertising 300 miles of range and you're only getting 200, that's not just an insignificant amount. That's a third of what you've advertised that you're not getting back. They just hammers home the point. Why would you buy an EV?
I wouldn't. We're not set up for EV. This country is not set up for EV.
No, you're right. Absolutely right. We haven't got the infrastructure. I quite like the look of the new Renault 5.
Yeah, that looks really cool.
It looks great. It looks great. Yeah. The blue one looks the nuts.
Yeah, it does.
That's the only electric car I wouldn't feel a complete knob driving, but I still wouldn't buy one.
No, but it does. There are so many quirks to it that hark back to the original Renault 5. It's a great looking motor.
Yeah.
Great looking motor. But I wouldn't own one.
Do you know, I saw that Renault. Can you hear me now? Is that working?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear.
You're all good.
Has that solved all the echo?
Yes.
I think so.
These sound really good as well. So the Renault 5, I saw the pictures. I thought that is proper tasty. But then it didn't have that I kind of feel like it should have had a little petrol turbo engine, because that's what the original had.
Yeah, the Renault 5 GT Turbo was an absolutely outstanding car, but we've generally lost that now, haven't we? We haven't really got super hot hatches anymore. They're just all right. You've still got the Focus ST, which is decent. The Golf GTI is not the GTI it once was. We're never going to get those days back. They're long gone. Long gone.
Ford have stopped making the Fiesta now, haven't they? Ford.
Yeah, that's gone. That's gone.
Gone.
But those glory days of 80s and 90s hot hatches, they're done. They're over. And it's a shame, because they were such popular cars and immense cars.
But you know what? It was only a few years ago that we thought hot hatches altogether were dead, because they were getting stolen all the time, and Ford started making. They stopped making the XR2 and they started making that horrible. What was it? It was like a 1.6 Calypso Fiesta or something, and it had the XR2i engine, but it was detuned and it was kind of a bit rubbish. And yeah, they did all that, and we thought that was the end of the hot hatch, and then they popped back up later on. They came back to life once the insurance companies kind of eased up a little bit. I think it could. I think EVs might die a death. Genuinely.
No, yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I don't see longevity in EVs, just because the country don't have the infrastructure for it. And I watch another YouTube channel, because I do like my cars, and I really like a channel called High Peak Autos.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he's up your neck of the woods, isn't he, John?
He is. Yeah, he's not far.
He's a proper genuine guy, and he did a video about EVs and lived with an EV for a week. And when he was taking it to public charging points, those public charging points were costing him more than running his 5-litre Range Rover. So he was like, well, what's the point? And it was quite a powerful video. And it just, all it did was show that we're just not set up in this country for complete EV. We're just not set up for it. So it will die. As much as the government claim by 2030 everything's going to be EV, it won't be. It just cannot, because we're just not set up for it. It's as simple as that. And the batteries, have certain lifespans on them, and you've got to buy certain warranties on the batteries and everything else. It's not geared up for it. There has to be a better solution.
I agree. I think this time round. Oh, hang on. How have I got echo? I'm wearing a headset. Hang on. Flipping it. It's trying to kill me. Try that. Let me try that instead. That might work. Yeah. One of the big things for me is right now you've got, and they reckon by the end of this year there'll be the same amount of charging points as there is petrol station pumps. But
no chance.
Well, but even if they did get that many, it doesn't solve the problem, because the problem you've got is it takes how long to charge that vehicle. If you sat at a petrol station for 45 minutes, everybody would be ready to kill you.
Yeah. Everyone's going to be late for work. Everyone's going to be late for everything. It doesn't work. The infrastructure doesn't work.
And that's the point that High Peak Autos was making in his video. So he drove an EV car. I think it was a Nissan Leaf. No, it wasn't. It was a Kia. And it didn't have great range. So he said, I need to go and see X amount of cars in this day. And everything was about planning how he was going to put electric in that car. And it just caused stress for him. So unless you can afford a Tesla, which has got good range, all these little smaller EVs just don't have the range. They're just little city cars. So if you own one of those little city EV cars, but you want to go, if I had one of those little city EVs and I wanted to come up and see you, John, That would cause a nightmare. Because
Well, this is it.
I mean, an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. So my brother-in-law has got the Mercedes 4x4 electric EV thingy, and he says he loves it. He really enjoys. He loves how quick it is, and I mean, it is like a spaceship, that car.
Yeah.
However, they went to France in it, and they were considering taking their Kia Sportage instead because they didn't trust the EV. And I just said to him, I said, look, if you can get down to the ferry, once you're in France, you'll be fine. And sure enough, that's what happened. Once they were abroad, they were okay. But they did have a whole bunch of times where they were completely stressing out. They'd gone to different charging places. The charging places were broken, all that kind of stuff. Like you don't really have that with a petrol or a diesel.
No, you don't. It causes stress, doesn't it? And round where I am, and so and Paul's in the same area as me, there are public EV points, but most of the time they're full up with like delivery driver vans, like some of the Amazon vans and DHL are all electric. They're always constantly parked up in the free ones, like you get at McDonald's and places. So they're taking the absolute pee as well, because they're encouraged by Amazon or DHL to use charging points that are in places where McDonald's, where it's a reduced fee. So they're just blocking them up. So if you need a bit of electric, you can't get it because there's delivery van. So you're just knackered. As simple as that. How many petrol stations do you drive by that have electric charging points? Because I don't see many in my area.
No. There isn't many. We've got 2 at church.
That's some church we've got there.
Well, yeah, we've got loads of room. So we've got a couple of chargers, but that was only because we wanted to offer the ability to charge a vehicle because we've got a coffee shop. So people could come in, get food, charge their car. And actually, it's done really well. Gosh, my echo, I can't understand why. Why has it got StreamYard got so bad?
It is quite poor. It's only on your voice now, John, that we've got echo.
Paul, bring your volume of your speakers down just a tiny, tiny bit.
Volume of my speakers down.
Yeah. Just a tiny bit. I'm wondering if your mic's picking up your speakers. It's gone now.
Yeah.
It's gone, yeah.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah. I wonder if it was that.
Never had it a bit loud.
Sometimes.
I'll just get a pair of earphones. I'll have to get a pair of headphones that look professional.
Oh, yeah. Really
I'm going to get a massive pair, like a really huge, ridiculously oversized pair, just to hammer home the point. Like I'm directing jets. Do you know what I mean? I can hear every word, son. It's just me and you.
Oh, brilliant. Hey, Simon Wood. Hello, mate. He says the power of the Spirit. Yeah, it is literally we harness the Holy Spirit and charge people's cars.
God is electrifying.
That's hilarious. Yeah, we've got a massive LED screen, and actually the charging points are under it. We should put that. God is electrifying, and then an arrow charge your car here. We have got a sense of humour, so it'd be good.
I'm trying to think what the nearest EV point is to me. There's a Lidl just round the corner from my gaff, and there's a couple of EV fill up points there. I think that's the closest, but that's still half a mile away. But petrol stations wise, there ain't many.
No,
I can't.
No, just saying the infrastructure isn't there. We're not ready. We're not ready.
Nope.
I think. Well, you've been to my house, haven't you, Paul? Where do they expect us to put an EV charging point in our house for our cars?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, they haven't exactly. They're not exactly designing these brand new estates with that in mind, are they?
No.
So I've got a brand new house. There's no connection between my asterisk drive, or technically parking spaces, there's no. You'd have to dig up all of the back and then all the way down out through the neighbour's garden into our garden, all the way to the point to try and get an EV charger. It costs thousands. It's just it doesn't make no sense. So
It's a chore.
Simon Wood says, "Hello, mate." He says
Hello,
there are apps that will tell you shell recharge. Ah, right, okay.
Shall recharge.
I work for a company with the highest number of charging points in Europe. No way. He says, but charging is pain.
There you go.
I'm assuming Simon drives an EV.
Yeah, well, see, this is the other thing. Me and Lyd seriously considered buying an EV to replace our old diesel T1. But when we had a look at it, we couldn't work out how to get a charger in cheaply at home. Yeah. So that would have taken like $3,000 of the cost of getting one of these cars, which left us with very little money to buy one. And then you're buying a really old EV, which you might be lucky if you get 50 miles out of, which is no good to us.
No, and so many of these EVs that are a few years old, certainly the smaller EVs, they're exactly that. They're a 50-mile range car. What point is there in that?
What is the point? Yeah. Destroying the motoring industry, aren't they, essentially? They don't want people on the roads.
Yeah.
Well, I've got an idea of why I think that is, but I haven't made my tinfoil hat yet. Simon says, yes, way. He said, but I would never drive an EV. What?
There you go. There you go. Fair play.
He says, if you want to kill the planet, buy an EV.
Absolutely.
If you support child labour, buy an EV. Well, this is it.
Yeah.
Well, there is that. And when you look at some of the documentaries about the mining that goes on for the minerals that go in an EV battery, but then there's the other argument about the mining we do to get fuel. It's a difficult one, but EV is not as clean as it's made out to be. That's for sure.
No. Well, they do. So the cobalt mines, they use less cobalt in these new batteries. But the cobalt mines existed anyway for the cobalt to refine crude oil. Exactly. So that has always been there. Yeah. But the other side of it is, I think the problem comes with EVs. Right. If we were saying that it's a mixed fleet, so right. Let's just kind of unpack this in my mind. This is let's say you live in London. It's a high pollution area. It's high levels of nitrogen dioxide in the town centre, which there is in summer when the air's still and stuff like that. And if you had an electric car or had a fleet of vehicles that were electric, that were affordable. So let's say you can't take your car in, but you could do what they do with the park and rides, like in York. You can park your car up. I think you pay like £2 parking all day, jump on a bus, which is included, and it takes you into York. And then when you want to leave, jump on the bus, you go back, plops you back at your car. If they did something like that, but with EVs, so the town centre, like the centre of London, you could do that kind of thing. So you're on the outskirts, you come in, or you get to a train station, you can hire a little EV and off you go. Then I get that idea. But then you've got ULEZ, where you pay. And if you pay, you can pollute as much as you like. So that doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
And then the people that it's trying to stop from driving in the town centre and encourage to buy a new car, it's making them poorer. So they can't buy a new car, which is cleaner. But then if you do a bit of digging, you can find out that there's a lot of older cars, like my 2005 Citroen C4 VTS, that are perfectly ULEZ compliant anyway. But they don't tell you that. They want you to buy an electric car.
Of course they do.
And this is where it all gets a bit misty and a little bit crooked. And, in fact, this guy said it. And this is another thing. 15-minute cities is what they
Oh,
want.
my 15-minute cities drive me mad. I've done a lot of reading about 15-minute cities, and they're being trialed, and it's horrendous. It's pure control. It's pure control over you. It's pure control over your movements. 15-minute cities cannot ever exist or be approved, but they're trialing them. I think Oxford was one of the first that tried 15-minute cities. It's wrong. 15-minute cities are an absolute outrage. This country is all about being free and free movement. 15-minute cities restrict that. So if where I live, so in Dunstable, and include where Paul lives, which is nearby, if they were 15-minute cities, the cost of how much I'd have to pay to come up and see you, John, would make it unrealistic.
Yeah.
It's wrong. 15-minute cities. If people don't know about 15-minute cities, when you finish watching us, whatever, go and have a little look on Google or whatever, and put in 15-minute cities. That's dangerous.
Mm.
They are bad news. 15-minute cities.
Have you seen it, Paul?
Have
you seen what they are, Paul?
No, this is new on me.
So 15-minute cities are all about you should be able to work and live within 15 minutes of where you work and where you live. And if you cannot work within 15 minutes of where you live, you will get charged an absolute fortune to cross out of that border of your 15 minutes. It's horrendous. That should never ever happen. And I think that could cause absolute anarchy in the UK if that is ever brought in, because it's all about control.
That'd be me stuffed.
Yeah,
exactly.
It'd be me stuffed. I mean, we live on top of a hill that takes more than 15 minutes to get anywhere. So, like, that means every time we leave our house, so the idea is if you're any longer than 15 minutes, or is that right? If the distance you travel is more than 15 minutes, then you start getting charged, don't you?
Yeah, you do after a certain period. You get I think it's something like you get 3 opportunities it's almost like annual leave at work. You have to almost book annual leave to go out of your 15 minutes to go on holiday. And once you've exceeded that certain limit, you get charged. So let's say, for example, Paul's obviously within my 15 minutes. He's about 8 minutes down the road. But if I wanted to come up to you, John, I could only probably do that 3 times a year and not get charged. Any more than that, I'm getting charged for it. So it's like having annual leave at work where you get 20 weeks, 22 weeks leave. That's fine. But if you exceed that, you're paying for it.
It's just bonkers.
It is. 15-minute cities. And they have been trialled already in the UK, yet it's being kept on a very low key, which concerns me. But they're dangerous. That's a very dangerous route for this country to go down.
Well, it's even stuff like, if you supported, Paul's a massive football head. So let's say, Paul, you live more than 15 minutes away from Tottenham Hotspurs. That means you could only visit them a certain amount of times. Yeah, 3 times a year. And then any other time after that, you'd have to pay extra money just to have the privilege of going to the ground.
Yeah.
Work is the big one. I mean, it takes me half hour to drive to work. There's nothing I can do about that. As a crow flies, it's literally 26 miles from my house to the brewery. It's a half-hour drive. And it's more than that at the moment because they're doing roadworks on the M1 near us, so it's longer than that.
So you'd get 3 times to do that, and after 3 times, you'd be getting charged.
Brilliant.
Because they believe everyone should be able to live and work, shop, work, within 15 minutes of their house.
Yeah.
Who are the people that come up with these ideas? Because surely,
I can't say the word I'd like to use because
who comes up with these ideas?
There's a certain word.
Well, this is where I've been getting quite upset about it because when you go and actually look at who makes these ideas, there's a whole bunch of people that are very, very rich that are completely unelected that
Yeah.
live in the shadows behind the politicians that they push
Yeah.
and sponsor. And those are the people that want to do this to us.
That's
And
that's called
it's a
bureaucracy.
globalist agenda, not just a
Bureaucracy.
local one. Yeah.
They're the people that are in charge of the government, the bureaucracy that we live under, that we don't get.
I've just got to go for a wee.
About. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. They're all people that are multi-millionaires, bordering on billionaires. That the way I look at it is, my analogy of all these people that run the country that are multi-millionaires, bordering on being billionaires, we're just a monopoly board to them.
Yeah.
That's all we are. They're just playing Monopoly with us. And,
it's just a game.
And that's it. It is a game to them because they don't have to worry about anything because they are so ridiculously wealthy that they can just play Monopoly with everybody. Yeah. And that's how I see it. That's how I see the way this country's run, the way the government runs us. And it doesn't matter what government's in power because they're all extremely wealthy people. We're just a Monopoly board. That's all we are. And they control everything, which is just, look at Rishi Sunak. He's a billionaire. Do you think he knows the price of a pint of milk or how much a loaf of bread is?
No chance.
No idea.
How many politicians over the years have exposed themselves when they've been asked that very question?
Yeah,
because they don't know. They don't know. They don't go shopping. They don't. They've got someone to do it for them. You know, these aren't real people that are supposedly running our country. You know, they haven't got a clue. And that's my issue. That's my issue with government. It's why I won't vote. I don't vote because it's just, what are you voting for? You know.
Exactly. I don't vote. I haven't voted for a long time, and a lot of people have criticised me over the years for not voting. But you're like, what are you voting for? Because no matter who comes in, they're all rich. They're all wealthy. They don't understand working class people. They claim they do, but they don't.
Yeah.
So what's the point? What's the point of voting? The next general election, Labour will probably get in, but so what? What difference are they going to make?
It's not going to make any difference, is it?
No.
The system is there. The system's already in place. Doesn't matter what party sitting on the left hand side of the Houses of Parliament every Wednesday. Makes no difference. You know, it's still the same system. Still going to fail. People are still going to get poorer. And they're still going to get richer. That's the only consistency of government. Is they get rich and we get poor. That's how it works. You know, it's just what it is.
Because it's about control, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's what it is. They're not there to help us. They're there to govern us. They're there to run us. They're there to keep us in our place. They don't want working class people getting wealthy. They don't want that. They want the status quo. They want the people that are in place. They want the powers to remain as they are. The hierarchy to stay as it is. They don't like people rising up. And if you do, they try and chop you down. You know, it's how it goes.
Yeah. And if people rise up, then the government are bringing new laws to stop people rising up, and they blame the police and say it's the police that are enforcing these laws, but they're laws that the government have put in place. So there you go. Yeah, but they just deflect. That's all they do, and make themselves wealthier. Simple.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a politician try and answer a straight question?
Oh, they don't.
They can't do it, can they? They can't do it.
They just cannot do it. And it's and what grips me with politicians is the amount of expenses they can claim for. Is astronomical. They can claim for everything. You know, mileage, another house, petrol, everything they can claim for. So when they get their wages every month, those wages are 100% theirs because they haven't got to pay for fuel. They haven't got to pay bills. They haven't got to pay for anything because they can claim it all back. We can't do that as normal working people.
Yeah.
It's just no, I'm going to stop because I can rant and rant and rant.
Simon makes a point, right? You have to filter the 15-minute stuff because the conspiracy theorists have jumped on the bandwagon. Well, this is the problem, and I agree with you, Simon, on this, because you look at it and I think this all goes back to one big thing, and I think we can all agree this, everybody in chat can agree this, that after the whole Rona experience that we've had, none of us trust entirely our governments and the
No.
people that are in power, and their behaviour would suggest to say this, that is correct. So then the conspiracy theories jump on these things, but what's been shown is quite a lot of the time, not all the time, but quite a lot of the time, some of the more normal ones actually turned out to be true. So now it validates a lot of what the deep conspiracists are saying, and some of them are completely wrong. So you're absolutely right. You've got to try and balance what is real and what is not real. But I certainly
Yeah.
see enough about the 15-minute thing, even with the fact that overnight they just shut a bunch of roads without telling anybody.
Yeah.
That it, I mean, get this. So if you don't think it's crooked out there, so the estate that we bought our house on, the development, should I say? I always say estate. Liz says it make it sound really rough, but I grew up on an estate. That's what it is. They advertised the land. There's a big bit of land in front of our house. There's going to be beautiful trees. We're putting these maple trees in. It's going to be landscaped. And we were like, oh, it's going to be so nice. Anyway, it's now got to it. They're not doing any of that. They've just covered it in mud and said they're going to put grass seed in it. That's it.
Yeah.
And planning has got somebody in. There's somebody in Kirklees Council for planning that basically, when he's the man you complain to, he doesn't even reply. He doesn't reply to you. He doesn't say anything. He just ignores you, and he's completely on the side. He's literally in the pocket of the developers, and there's absolutely nothing you can do.
No.
So it's just crooked.
All of it's crooked. It's all corrupt. It's all crooked. Sort of about brown envelopes full of cash.
Yeah.
And even if they put in all those trees, maple trees, whatever, they're only going to put in saplings. By the time those trees are established and massive and look amazing, you'd be dead.
It's true, yeah. Hasdak says, isn't it Agenda 2130? Yeah, there's all sorts of different... Agenda 30 is the one I've heard a lot about. And you can hear that with the constant target of 30 that they keep putting out there on the World Economic Forum and the WHO. Yeah, they're all crooked as a hillbilly smile. The WHO gets loads of money from... Oh, did you hear what happened in Canada? So they found out that, and this is in Parliament, so that Trudeau had let one of the head people from the CCP in China, who's in charge of biological weapons, let him in and full access to all of Canada's labs, including all their biological stuff and weaponry, and then tried to cover it up for 3 years. And the WHO are massively sponsored by CCP. So, I mean, it's just insane. And Trudeau's the biggest dictator of them all. Someone says that only an Englishman understands. I had a couple. I mean, I didn't have a couple, but I meant a couple.
That's true. It's beer language, isn't it? Had a couple. I just went out for a couple. That could be like 5.
Yeah.
5 beers. You know, I'm going for a few beers. That's 12. No, so it's different code for all these things. I only went out for a couple. 7 pints deep. But yeah, doing well.
I've turned into such a lightweight, haven't I, Paul? When you came up here, I couldn't drink like I did before.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think you've done all right. We were both still going strong, weren't we?
And then we came home.
We both got up that hill. We got up the hill. I got back to your house. I raided the fridge to make myself a sandwich. And you was having none of it. I was like, mate, I need a sandwich. I need food.
Yeah. I knew if I ate, I think I'd have been sick.
Really?
Yeah, I'd had far too much. And it felt like I'd been eating dinner. I felt like I'd had a roast potatoes and gravy.
I need grub to soak it all up, man.
How good was that beer, though?
Eh?
How good was that beer?
It was a really good pint. That the blackjack stout, really nice. It's seasonal brew, isn't it? That one as well. Which is why it tasted so good.
If you are coming down at the end of the month, John, I've got from the 19th to the 31st off at work.
Okay, 19th to the 31st. Right. Because it's my mum's, Lydia reminded me, it's my mum's 70-somethingth. Oh, I think it might be her 70th. Was it a 68th? I don't know. She's old as hell. So it's her birthday. So I got a feeling I might have to go and see her. Well, I will have to go and see her. So I don't know when. Is that bad that I don't know my mum's birthday? That is shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I don't remember certain dates on purpose. Like I couldn't tell you the day my dad died because I deliberately didn't want to know the date because I didn't want to have it as an anniversary. So certain things are just like past me. But even the kids' birthdays, I get mixed up. Simon says I lived in Dublin for 5 years and I swear Guinness is the sponsor by Andrex. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah. Goodness me. Nothing went in my arm over the pandemic. No. Well, unfortunately, I did for me, and I regret it.
Did you see what he did there? Pandemic.
The old pandemic.
Pandemic. Love it. Oi, oi.
Here he is. Look, he did a little video call. Did you notice?
Yeah, he did.
I ignored it.
Rachel nearly answered it. Rachel was very close to answering it.
I thought I can't be answering it to a pissed up Ewok. He's on the slope at the moment, isn't he?
He is. He's skiing.
I'd be surprised if he's on the slope right now. He's on a slippery slope of being larripped.
Slippery slope. He's going down the hill right now with a pint of Kronenberg in one hand.
The funniest bit about every time Mark does this and he rings, Lydia is in her car and it automatically answers.
Oh no!
Yeah. We don't know why it does it, but it does. It automatically answers. So she's like, "Hello," and Mark's like, "Mark can't see her." So then he's like, "Ah."
I'm having a great time. How are you?
He's brilliant. He's such a nice drunk as well.
He is. He's a good drunk. He's a good drunk. I wonder if we'll actually get together this year for a lash up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should. I'm on the black run of getting LaRoped, Chris.
Larripped.
LaRoped.
Good boy. I love how much fun Mark has. He has a great time. It's amazing.
LaRoped.
It makes me want to join the round table, honestly. The amount of fun that they have.
They have fun in the round table. Have they got swords? The Knights of the Round Table.
I could introduce them.
Yeah, I think that would be a solid suggestion.
I'll join. If I get a polo shirt or something, polo shirt and an invite to a beery trip, I'll take it.
Yeah, I think so. It's so funny. The chat numbers are really bizarre. I'm looking at how it's going. So we started off at 2, we went up to 11. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. At 9. Like back in the day, we used to have 30, 40, 50.
I don't know. I never had 50.
Oh yeah.
No, well, I don't know. I think the average was normally between 30 and 40 for a live stream. But yeah, if it was below 20, that was normally when it was coming to an end, or if it was just starting, I suppose. No ropes. No ropes. He's getting low roped.
Oh, look at him. That's how, boy. It appears that you are getting the roped. Larrett. Is that a southern? Why have I never heard that before?
Larrett.
Must be a southern thing, but I've known getting drunk as Larrett for years.
Larrett.
As a kid, getting Larrett.
Yeah, I never heard that.
So many good ways of describing getting drunk, which makes it more fun. Because you can change it every time.
Smash.
What you opening, Paul? You look like you're about to open a new beer.
I'm going for the black stuff.
Yeah.
I polished off the double. I've just had that, which was a really nice American porter from Edmunds Oast Brewing Company from South Carolina.
Mm.
That was
Following
very nice.
that up, Guinness could be a bit disappointing.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a climb down, to be fair, but it's. Are we ready for the hiss?
Oh, it sounds squitty.
It's whistling at me.
It says, right, I've got some really shocking French beer to drink. Smell you later, suckers.
Enjoy, Marky boy. Enjoy.
Have a good time, mate. Have a good time. Enjoy yourself. And don't crash into anybody in the skis tomorrow when you're slightly hungover.
break your leg, Mark. Break your leg, son. Or don't.
So, you've got 100 grand spare. And you can buy 3 cars to put in your garage. What cars are you going to buy?
Oh, what a question. What a question.
So, first one is a Ford Ranger Wild Track 3.2. I wouldn't get the Raptor because I think it's just OTT. I'll just get a Raptor, a Ranger, sorry, a Wild Track Ranger. And I'd get a new Golf GTI, which is about what, 40k.
Yeah.
And then I've got 40 left. Oof. New truck, new Golf. I've got one more car. Let's say, for argument's sake, 40k left. I'd get one of them Renault 5 EVs for a laugh.
That's a really difficult question. Probably go with. I'm going to have to change. I know that. A Mark II Ford Escort RS 2000.
Oh, I don't know if you have much change out of 100 grand for one of them.
Yeah, you will. A Mark II Toyota Supra 3-litre turbo.
Oof.
And what a third. This is where I make it up because they're not a big value, but I love these motors. Probably looking at a Ford Granada 2.8 injection gear X.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
Big's a monster.
The problem is, all the stuff I like is American, and it's all about 100 grand per car over here. So
that was my thinking. That's why I went sensible.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. If you've only got 100 grand, what do you buy? So I think for me, I'd get myself. I'd have to buy another. I would like another transporter van, but I would have an older, like a T5, not a 5.1, T5, 1.9 TDI. And I want it ratted out on the biggest set of steels that I could possibly find. Banded steels, ratted out, just on the deck, like literally scraping its belly along the floor. That would be perfect. It wouldn't be a lot of money, but it would be a lot of fun. And have inside just the ability to carry all sorts of junk or sleep in it. So that's what I would have. And it's got to be ratty, because I don't want to be upset if I bump it. So that's the reason.
T5s are good vans.
Oh, yeah. And then I would probably, if I could track the car down, I'd love to buy my old BMW E21 race car that I used to have, that was road legal. I'd love to have that car back. And then I would buy probably a Porsche 911. It'd have to be a hard top.
Yeah, see, I agree with that. ever since I was a kid, I mean a proper kid, Porsches have always been my most favourite car. And one day I will own a 911. But if I had 100 grand and I had to buy 3 cars, I still wouldn't put the Porsche 911 in that because the money I want to spend on a Porsche 911 wouldn't give me the opportunity to buy 3 cars.
True.
Yeah.
So
That
what
was
you're
my thinking. That was my thinking. So I went with a
I'm-
truck that I actually want.
Ultimate. Yeah. Go on.
What?
Oh, we all lagged
gonna
out.
say,
I'm just
my
checking the
ultimate-
prices of Mark II RS 2000s. So if you want a nice one, so there's one here, 6 previous owners, 68,000 miles. I bet that's legit.
Yeah.
£41,995.
Jesus.
Yeah. There you go.
6
That's-
previous owners.
So yeah, the 3 cars I chose, you'd get in the 100 grand, but you get a little bit of change because of the Granada.
Yeah, true.
I'd love a Porsche 911, but the type of Porsche 911 I want would stop that budget. But the ultimate Porsche, if I could own any Porsche, it would be a Porsche 959.
Oh, I've driven one of them. I was oh, Chris is frozen. Oh,
You've driven a 959.
I have. I've driven...
Oh,
Your internet just went really squiffy then. It was quite funny. You went, you've driven 8, 9, 5, 5. Yeah, no, I did.
seriously, you've driven a 959?
Yeah, so
That's
it was
what
a
it is.
left-hand. It came into work. It was a left-hand drive, and it had possibly been specced by somebody that was either on meth or 150 years old waiting to die. So it was burgundy red, metallic red,
Yeah.
and it had poo brown leather interior.
Yeah, typical Porsche.
And I'm like, who on earth spec this up? But what an incredible car. So I only took it round. Basically, it was coming in as part exchange, and it was a Saturday. And they said, would you just take it round the block and make sure it's all right? So I drove it round the block. I didn't hoof it. Like, I didn't dare because we hadn't even bought the car. So I took it round the block, had a quick look, put it on the ramp, checked everything that I could see, and it looked all right. It wasn't too bad. There were a few bits that's like the tyres are a bit old, and yeah, it just needed freshening up. But we ended up taking that in swap against. For the life of me, I can't remember what it was. No idea. But yeah, so I got to drive that. I've driven some really interesting stuff. I drove a left-hand drive Ford RS 200.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. And yeah, loads of Porsches, loads of TVRs. Yeah, all sorts of bits and bobs. So yeah, I've driven a few things. But yeah, we have a comment. I've got an old Forester S Turbo in my garage. Needs welding and brakes. Hey, they were all right, the old Forester.
No.
You know, the Subaru Forester.
Yeah, they were good motors. They are still good motors. If you can pick up a tidy one of those, they're a solid motor. Very solid car.
Just need a petrol
Understated.
station.
Yeah.
So, Paul, question for you. Are Tottenham Hotspurs going to win the league? Any league this year?
No, not in my lifetime.
No.
Yeah, definitely not this season. No.
That question, John, was clearly from a person that doesn't follow football properly.
It's true. I don't.
No. Tottenham aren't winning the league. No,
How does your mind work, John? You went from driving a Porsche 959 to asking if Tottenham are going to win the league.
I think
How
you
does
were
your
funny.
right.
I didn't know what the Forester was, so I zoned out for a second. Then I think John spotted it.
I did
John
exactly
spotted it.
that. I saw him and I
Yeah.
thought I could easily go down the nerd rabbit hole here into like depths of like I was going to start talking about how the Forester didn't look sporty, but yeah, it had senior stores,
That's the thing.
and I thought,
My knowledge of motors is like Top Gear deep. Basically, I like cars, but I'm not a car nerd. You know, if they get me to A to B, I know I enjoy driving. But yeah, if it gets proper nerdy with motors, I'm just like I ain't got a clue what you're chatting about. Not a clue. Yeah.
so I brought it back, and I thought maybe we could have a little chat about football.
You've
I'm
thought all about
learning
football.
stuff because the boys are teaching me.
That's good.
I love it. They've
It's good
taught
that they're
me.
teaching you.
I've learned a lot of stuff. And I've turned into that that person at the sideline when they're playing football, shouting.
It always makes me laugh watching parents at the side of a
That's
kid's
amazing.
football pitch because they just shout out the same nonsense.
Yeah.
It's
So
just,
who's going to win the league, John?
I don't know. You know, I think it could be Liverpool.
could be.
But then I thought that they would beat Man City. They're normally good at getting a goal in the like 89th minute and just smashing it in there when you think they're going to lose. I also thought that they probably have nobbled the coach by wrecking the coach on the way in and getting him stressed out because that's what Liverpool fans like to do. But that I don't know whether that happened or not. But they trashed it last time.
Yeah, I've done that before.
So I kind of feel like they're doing all right. Newcastle United has got the money this time, so they could be doing a bit better this year. Although I don't think we'll see that until next year. I don't think we'll see them right up there doing really well.
I kind of feel sorry for Newcastle fans because they've got all this money, or the owners have got all this money. They're not allowed to spend it.
No.
Which is great. Suddenly financial fair play has become a thing.
Yeah.
And they're now not actually allowed to spend beyond their means, which is great for clubs like Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United and Liverpool and Arsenal. Just not very good for everyone else. Because unless Chelsea, everything Chelsea have won has been bought.
Yeah.
Everything Manchester City, as good as they are, everything that they've won has been bought.
Yeah,
they fiddle in their numbers, blatantly fiddle in their numbers. We see all the empty seats week in, week out. We know they're fiddling their numbers. Sibbo!
We've got another Man City supporter in the chat.
Another one. But yeah, going forward, honestly, this is, I mean, Spurs probably still won't win anything. But going forward, the top four is going to be Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Spurs. That's going to be the constant top four because they're the four most profitable football clubs in the country.
Yeah, you're not going to see, with Newcastle, with all their wealth, Newcastle are not going to be challenging top four for at least
they're not allowed.
If they're lucky.
It's almost unfair that the rules are suddenly kicking in.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you're only allowed to spend within your means. So if you're making money, fine, spend it. But then it ruins the competition a little bit because there are clubs that are never going to make that kind of money.
No.
You know, so it's like, what are they supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know, so it's
start a YouTube channel and get some merch out there. That's what I need to do.
Yeah, get some merch out, make some extra money. That went well. I tried that once.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah,
I sold about 6 t-shirts. It's great though because it's all the t-shirts I wear is my Paul's Beer Review ones. I've got loads knocking around.
Oh mate,
they weren't even my fault either. People who are watching the live stream says, "I'll have a t-shirt." Line.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They told you, didn't they?
Yeah, t-shirts made up. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it for you guys. Sold like 6.
I think with merch, to do well at it, you've got to have a channel over 50,000, heading towards
Easily.
100,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Otherwise,
you
it's just not
need
going
to
to
have
work.
a following. Yeah, there was. I had no intention of doing that, none whatsoever. COVID, everyone was like, "Do it, get some merch."
Yeah. So, on another note, I've just seen a Ford Orion Gear 1.6. Do you remember them?
Yes.
So, it had XR3i engine, but because it was an Orion, wasn't very insurable. Was insurable, and they had a boot. They were a bit ugly. So I had a couple of Orions over the years, and there is one here from 1987, which makes it a D plate. Was the year that they rotted horrendously,
Mm,
and it is £13,000.
that's horrendous.
Bloody hell! How much?
13 grand. It's
Right.
not even a desirable one.
It's not on KGF Classics, is it?
It's on Cars and Classics.
Yeah. Yeah, KGF Classics. They're a good site to follow. They have some incredible motors in. They have a lot of Fords in with the most silliest, tiniest mileage in, which you just couldn't fathom. Just couldn't fathom. And they've recently sold an Orion Gear with something like 15,000 miles on it. How does that happen? How does that even happen?
Wow.
I'll tell you what I would fancy owning: a Capri.
I'd love
Yeah, I'd love a Capri.
2.8i inject. Yeah, the 2.8i or the Capri Brooklands, which was a 3 litre. Oh yeah, they're stunning.
Always like the
Stunning.
Capri. Really smart looking car.
Terrible handling cars. Terrible handling.
I can imagine they're quite long, aren't they?
Years ago, and it was awful. When I was a youngster, a friend of mine had a Capri. It was a 2 litre laser. And even for a 2 litre laser, that back end was coming round all the time. It was awful.
Apparently, there was a modification that you could do with the rear axle. I don't know if it was that you flipped the axle or you put blocks in or took blocks out on the rear axle and flipped it on the other side of the leaf spring. And apparently, it was like a completely different car handling wise.
No.
So you used to see ones that had been modified, they were sat down at the back.
Yeah.
But a Ford Capri 2.8i with 70,000 miles on, you're going to be looking at 13 to 20,000 now.
Easily.
That's mad.
But they're a beautiful car. I love them in white. In white, I think they're stunning, the 2.8i's. They are a beautiful car. They really are. But the Brooklands, they carry strong money. Very strong money.
There's a Brooklands here. 59,000 miles. 34,995.
There you go.
35 grand. Jesus Christ.
Pretty car though.
Very
I
pretty.
love these Capris. I've always liked Capris, man.
I thought they did the Capri X pack as well, which I thought was ugly as sin. Yeah, but they carry strong money. But the X pack Capri are awful looking, ugly as sin. Nowhere near as good as the 2.8i or the Brooklands. Look at that. That's stunning. Those wheels are beautiful.
It's got bonnet for days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
You can roll across that like a
Pretty.
a detective on a mission.
Very American looking.
They are. I think that's what I like about them. They've got that bit of American muscle look about them.
Yeah, that's a stunning motor.
There's a bit of a Chevy SS look
car.
about one of those, isn't there? That's a great looking car.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, those Capri 280s, they carry some value as well. Yeah, they're stunning.
Oof. Carpool right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, look at this! Look at the Recaros.
Yeah, most of them had Recaros, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, great shots. Oh, twin exhaust. Oh, stiffy.
Look at that! Oh, look at the dashboard! Look
Look
at
at
the
the
clock
dice.
in the center console.
Nice, nice.
Got our fluffy dice. Oh, look at the seats. So I
Yeah.
had those seats, but with it didn't say Recaro there. It said Recaro on this part here, and this was
Yeah.
cloth. And I
Yeah.
had them in my escort van, and they've been taken out of a Capri. And I got pulled over by this flipping copper in Brighton, who was just a weirdo. And he wouldn't let my car go because he said I'd stolen the seats from a Capri. And I was like, somebody modified this before I bought it. It had these seats in. Have you considered that the Capri might have rusted away and was on the scrap heap, and they bought the seats and put it in? And it was a nutter. And his colleague ended up just saying, "Get in the car, will you? For goodness' sake!"
Right,
He just said to me, "Go away." So I did.
On your way. Jim's in.
There you
Hey,
go.
Jim.
Essex V6.
Look at
Jim. He said, "Who's wearing capris?"
Wish I was wearing a Capri.
Oh,
it
the
says
car
in
from the
state,
80s.
often compared to the Mustang. See, I could see that.
Yeah, it had a lot of the same stuff. Yeah, it was our version of the Mustang for sure. It was a lot smaller than the Mustang, though.
Yeah.
Shall we buy some FIA race cars?
FIA.
That'd be good.
Is that the Cars and Classics website?
Here we go.
FIA.
Yeah.
Oh.
We could buy a GT40 for 125 grand.
No.
So you see that, the Cooper T51. So my dad, I can't see Chris, who's behind Jim's head. So my dad got the opportunity to drive for Cooper cars, and because he had a heart problem, he couldn't do it. But he potentially was going to race one of those. So yeah, there you go. That's the sad story. I learned to drive in a Volvo 240. So
I love the old Volvo 240s.
oh, we've got another page. Oh, look at Volvo porn. Oh, that's a 2-door Volvo.
Can't see it.
Yeah, there's no picture on the screen.
It's not working.
Oh, there you go.
Look at that tank. What a
Can't
beast.
see any of the other
What a beast.
pictures. Oh, here we go. No,
Look at that. I love
it's the
that.
size of the mud flaps on that.
What a car.
The mud flaps are bigger than the car.
They are immense. What
I
a
know.
motor. Look at it. They're bigger than my wife's flaps. They're immense.
Dear, oh dear.
Chris! Poor Rachel.
Dear, oh dear.
Poor lady.
Shocking. Chris has gone straight in there.
We've gone past the
I'll
water
never
shed.
look at her the same.
Talk about flaps. Love the old Lanciers. Yeah,
Oh,
they are great. What's that one? Is that that's a
My
beam, isn't it? Yeah.
internet is pants.
Oh. Jim says, how's the air spoiler on that Volvo?
Oh, E24 635 CSI. Oh, suit use there.
Oh,
Oh, it'd be a big old.
a Jag. Go on.
A car that seems to be forgotten recently is the good old Saab 93 Turbo. That's been forgotten recently.
I used to love Saabs, man. The
Yeah,
Saab
I had a nice
95. One of my customers had a Saab 95 when they were brand new. Oh, beautiful saloon car.
Yeah,
Glorious.
I loved my Saab. My Saab was incredible.
I had a 9.5 Aero.
Good 10, 15 years now, haven't they? Since they went out of business.
Quick car.
When they turned into Vauxhalls, they were pretty terrible, but they were good cars.
Yeah, the Saab. I think it was the Saab 95. I don't know which year it was. that came out. It's a beautiful saloon car, the Saab 95.
I had a 95 Aero in black, and that car was unbelievably rapid. Awesome.
No, but they were chunky, weren't they?
I'd
They
have
were
another one.
sporty, but they were low to the ground. They added like an extra layer, didn't they, to the bottom of them almost. They just made them like chunkier. Look at them Astons. Oof. They still make beautiful cars.
Sorry, my internet is terrible. So the 93, well, the 900 and the 93, this one here, they were all based on a Cavalier platform, and then the 95 was based on a Vectra. So everything underneath it you could get because it was all Vectra parts.
Yeah.
And then the later 93, this shape here, like this 2007, that was Vectra as well.
Yeah, they were.
And yeah, I still think that last 95 they made was a pretty car. I love that.
Yeah, they are lovely cars. Yeah, I miss my.
But yeah, there were some cool things. I've had a lot of Saabs. I think I've been in total. Are you like me, Chris, where you're a serial car owner, where you just got to get certain cars out of your system, so you end up buying it, having it for a while, getting rid of it, getting another one?
Without a doubt. Yeah, there's been a few cars over the years that I've had to own, and if I could afford them, I owned them, and I loved them. Saab was one of them. My Toyota Supra was another one of them. A decent spec Celica was another one. Yeah, if I can afford them, I'd have them. But there's so many cars. There's so many cars that I want to own, and most of them are old. Most cars that I really want to own are proper old cars, because I just think they have character. They've got something about them compared to new cars. And yeah, if I had unlimited funds, my garage would be full of 80s and 90s cars, without a doubt.
Yeah, me too.
Without a shadow of a doubt. I look at modern cars now, and they generally all look the same. There's nothing special about a lot of modern cars, and I just look at them all and think, I don't want any of these. I want to go back to the 80s and 90s.
But see, I feel like, so Jim makes a point here, most Americans in the 80s were jealous of the European car of the time. And I think I look back at a lot of the 80s stuff, car-wise in America, I thought it was really cool. But actually, they went through the late 80s, early 90s. They really lost their way. There was some terrible-looking, awful, like the Mustang.
You compare the 60s Mustangs to the 80s Mustangs. They were shocking.
Dreadful.
They completely lost the plot with the Mustangs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and even the 90s one looked crap. It was awful. The Fox body ones weren't too bad, but then they went to the Blancmange one, which was the last one before the newer shape that was like a retro kickback. They were good, but America had so many rules on like emissions. So they had these massively inefficient V8s that were trying to be good on emissions, but would only make like 140 horsepower. Where we had a BMW 320i and make 140 horsepower, no problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was the problem for the Americans, and then they went through. I think they saw what the Europeans were doing with like the Sierra, and probably, I would say, I'm trying to give another. Well, there was no other car that really started the jelly mold thing before the Sierra, and then they saw that, and then they started making jelly molds, but then they just took it too far.
I used to love the Ford Sierra. There were certain cars that I associate with growing up. Ford Sierras, Vauxhall Cavalier. I remember when that first came out. We're talking 92, no, probably earlier than that. 91,
Earlier.
92, when the Vauxhall Cavalier was first launched. I thought that was one of the best looking cars I'd ever seen in my life. And you
Yeah,
see
but-
them now, and you're like, they weren't good looking at all. They're like nice curved front and then a straight chop at the back. But what was that about? You know, what was that about? My old man had he had the SRI. He had a Vauxhall Cavalier SRI, leather seats, decky windows, and all that. It was like a 94 or something, but it was it went like a 2 liter. I think it was a 2 liter turbo engine. It might have been bigger than that. 2.5 liter turbo engine in it. It was.
There was a couple of variants, weren't there, of the Cavalier SRI. You had the standard SRI. You had the Cavalier SRI 130. They were good looking cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you mean. They had the lovely sharp front and then just a thump
down the back. Yeah. I remember
and
my old man's one had a little
they
spoiler that was about
that's
that far off of the
little
off
rubber
of the body.
spoiler.
That makes all the difference when I'm Vauxhall.
But they just couldn't compete with the Sierras of the time. But they were still decent motors, still very decent motors.
A mate of mine had the the GSI 2000. What a car that was!
Ooh.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, and he had it all done up so it looked like the Hockenheim, the British touring car one. And it had to get the spoiler looking right. They nicked a spoiler off a 405 saloon car, a Peugeot 405. I think like a GT or something. Nicked the spoiler off that, and that fit perfectly and looked like a DTM style.
Yeah.
A spoiler that they were using at the time. Oh, what a car! I remember going. We went to Chelsea cruise back in the day. So you go up to Chelsea with your modified car, and I was a passenger because I think I was banned from driving at that time for speeding. And on the way back, we were doing 135 miles an hour on the 24 or the 23 that runs from London down to Brighton.
Yeah,
and we were flat out, and these our mates came past in a Metro GTI.
Wow.
we were like, what? How's that thing passing us? It was amazing.
John, could you get a picture up of a Vauxhall Cavalier? We say 95, 96 Vauxhall Cavalier SRI. Can you get a photo up? Mailman had a dark blue. He had multi-spoke alloys. It was sick.
They were good-looking cars, but then
I had a CDX.
I used to love it. I used to sit in it. It was the one car that my old man had. I used to sit in it for ages, just looking at it. I think, yeah, I want one of these when I'm older. I was better looking than them.
Oh.
Yeah, they're better looking than those. You're on the wrong one. I know exactly what Paul's thinking about.
Yes.
That's your bog standard Cavalier there.
Yeah, I know the one is yeah, that is
1.6 lump of shit that the kids mums pick the kids up from school in.
Yeah, they were Repmobiles, those ones.
But even now, I still look at that. I think still kind of I like the styling of it. It's just the back.
I know which one it was.
Absolutely. Come on, John. What are you waiting for? Come on, son.
Watching Blade Runner. Was it one of his chill hot playlists?
Didn't they do, so they did a 2-liter. They did a 2-liter 16-valve Ecotec, which was in the later ones. They did a 4x4 one, and they did a.
Here we
they did
go.
A turbo one as well.
A couple of
Calibers. Had a dark blue, and a cheeky little spoiler on it.
What colour was it?
Dark blue, like a navy blue.
That maroon one looks quite nice.
Maroon? Oh, does it nice?
Gosh, my internet is like flipping dial up here, isn't it? Was it like this colour? Hang on. Flipping all.
It's coming. It's coming. Definitely coming. Yeah, the darker blue. Yeah, it wasn't far off that. It didn't have the red trim. Didn't have any of that red trim on it though.
That one on the right, that's a saloon.
Yeah, it's a saloon actually.
If you're going to go back
See,
to Vauxhalls
a
of
lot-
that era, but if you want to talk about Vauxhalls of that era, you've got to look at the Carlton GSI 3000 or the Vauxhall Lotus Carlton.
Oh, yeah.
Carlton.
Or
Right.
the Calibra was a banger.
Oh, the Calibra was a banger.
Oh.
The 4x4 Calibra was an absolute banger. That was an amazing motor.
The police couldn't touch that flipping Calibra. If you got in a chase with a Calibra Turbo 4x4, there was no one, not even a 850 Volvo would catch it.
They were
No
coupe,
way.
weren't they?
They were
they were just three doors, weren't they? The Calibras.
Yeah, they were the most aerodynamic car of their time. They were lovely
good looking motors.
Always wanted one, never owned one. I think I spelled that wrong.
In there?
I nearly bought a Calibra, but I bought a Toyota Supra instead, which was a better choice.
It's another great car. Yeah, look at that. That was a good looking motor, wasn't it?
They were a good looking car. They still are a good looking car. Even in this day and age, that Calibra is still a good motor.
Yeah, you're right. That is good. Look at that blue one next to the yellow one. You had to go for the yellow one, didn't you, you big tart?
It's aged really well, hasn't it?
Yeah, they still look fantastic.
Yeah. Look at
it. Great looking car. The 4x4 Calibra was an amazing car.
Banana on wheels. Get the blue one. Get the blue one up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there you go.
Yeah.
That is a whip. That is a whip. Oh,
I bet they're the silly money now.
It's a cool car.
I've got a Hemi. Proper
motor. It's still a good looking.
Oh, hang on.
Still a good looking motor.
Oh, hang on a minute. Have I missed a note? Yeah, I have. Right, quickly get these comments. Not sales, but by style. Yeah, indeed. Evening, boys. Hello, always red. How are you, son?
Always red.
Nice to see you. Jim's saying hello. Always red. I hope everything's well stateside. Good evening to you, sir.
Donald Trump standing next to him in that picture.
He has. That's they're cousins. You know.
Trump 2024.
Controversial.
It's happening. It's happening. You know it's happening.
It is. It's happening. Yeah, Ford really tried to get the European styling down before most in the US. Yeah, they did, and they got it. They got there. Growing up in the 80s, the car to be seen in was the 1985 Porsche 911 wide body with the whale tail. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they are a great looking motor. Those 911 with the whale tails.
Zoom, Sharky boy.
Zoom, Sharky. Zoom, son.
Nice to see you, Sharkinator. And boom, boom, says Jim.
Zoom, boom, boom, vroom, vroom.
And a vroom, vroom. Wasn't that Mazda? Was Mazda zoom, or vroom, vroom?
Zoom.
Shake it, don't break it.
Who did it? Mazda. Mazda did the zoom.
Yeah. And then Renault did the derriere thing, didn't it? Something to do with derriere. Hit the motor with nitro, so fill the tank with Guinness. Hell yeah. And then you guys need to take over Top Gear. Yeah, we should.
Hell yes.
Well, it's been killed anyway.
Nobody watches Top Gear anymore. Everyone watches Grand Tour.
Yeah, I love
I
the
watch it
latest
back.
one. It's
They don't make new episodes of this. They just do the specials, don't they? Now, Grand Tour.
Yeah, I thought their last Grand Tour special was pretty pants, to be fair.
Did you
oh,
not
did you
enjoy
not
it?
like it?
No, I thought it was
I
pretty
quite enjoyed it.
I didn't like it. I just thought it was all very samey.
Yeah, but it works though, doesn't it? That structure, it works. I just think them three together are gold.
Oh, they are, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that.
I got hairy legs that turn blonde. Give me some, give me some.
There you go. That's Joe
I got
Biden for you.
Everything.
hairy legs that turn blonde. Give me
Blonde in the sun,
give me
in
some.
the sun. He did, yeah. And then I got this
It holds
one.
near and dear to you that you like to be able to. Anyway, you're going to get a lot done. If it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to. Anyway, we're going to get a lot done. If it holds near and dear to you that you.
Why is it still playing? Stop. I still like this one, but this is my favourite though.
I
Let's
got
talk about
hairy legs that turn blonde. Give me some, give me some.
in the sun.
But Joe Biden's come out with some classics, hasn't he?
Oh gosh,
Just
he
goes
does
off
it
on
on the
rants.
daily.
Great. It is great.
Did you see the one where he called somebody? What was it? Senator Booty Juice.
Senator Booty Shoes.
Really?
So he got announced, and this guy was like, "And I welcome to the platform the President of the United States of America, Joe Biden." So he comes on, shakes hands with him, and he's yeah, thank you, Senator Booty Juice. It was like, what? The comments were just gold. I love it. I can't believe it. I
Did you
just
see his,
cannot believe that.
What's his thing where he does the speech to the speech to everyone in Parliament? They have over there. I forgot what they called it now. He stood up and he did this speech to everyone, telling everyone what he was going to do, like laying out his manifesto as it is.
Yeah.
You know, what the State of the Union. That's what it's
The
called.
State of the Union, yeah.
State of the Union. He stands up and just talks absolute waffle, and everyone just loses their shit and stands up and starts clapping.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
He's like, give me another term, and I'm going to do really good stuff. And they're like, yes.
Yeah, yes, you are. Well done,
Yeah,
Obama.
I'm
Biden. Yeah.
I'm going to make everyone more money. Yeah, brilliant. It's just such rubbish. You've got that Kamala Harris woman just standing up. She was up and down like a jack in the box, like the whole thing. Embarrassing. So embarrassing.
Oh, man. Sharky reckons we should rent a car and do a road trip. That's not a bad shout.
Yeah, we
That's a
should.
good idea. That's a
Great
very
idea.
good
It's got to be a sweet.
You know
motorhome.
what? We could do a sweet ride to Germany in the old Merc, if you're up for it. Total comfort. Whoosh.
I'll be up for that.
That'd be good fun, wouldn't it? I could drive down to you guys, pick you both up. We'll get either Marky or I honestly don't think we could fit Tom and Mark and us all in one car, but we could definitely get 4 grown men in that car.
It's a lot of car. It's a lot of car. The Mercedes. It's comfortable.
Oh yeah, I forgot you've been in it, haven't you?
Yeah.
It just wafts along, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It
it's lovely,
cruises.
mate.
Just glides.
But I do like the idea of not just your Merc, because your Merc is a lovely motor, and I nearly bought one before I bought the camper van. But just renting a car, some weird rental, and going on a road trip would make amazing YouTube content. That I think is a great idea.
Switch your hire an EV.
Oh yes. You know what? I would be so up for this, right? I'll take my diesel Merc and you guys rent an EV. And then we just go into let's just like go to the Nürburgring or
How come we get the short straw? What's going on?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just mugged us right off, isn't it? Straight away, mugged us off.
You two wankers get an electric car. I'm jumping the Merc.
It would be funny. It would be good fun though, wouldn't it? It'd be good. It would be a good test to see if we could, I reckon in Europe it probably isn't the same story as it is here. So
No.
that would be quite a good, interesting comparison.
Oh yeah, it'd be great for you in your Merc, being able to fill up whenever you want. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Whilst me and Paul are scrapping around trying to find.
It's got to be all three of
Get
us.
some
All three of us in an EV, cameras set up, all chatting like they do in Top Gear,
Yeah,
testing it out, and then when we have issues with it, we're all there laughing about it. There's a designated driver for one sketch. The cameras going. The other two are drinking. It could be perfect. Absolutely perfect.
That would be funny to have to do it in like even 2 EVs would be hilarious. But maybe if you hired a really like nice new one and like we bought a really crap old one. Just like one from like I don't know, a Nissan Leaf or something like that, you know, one of the older ones, and just see what it would be like to try and get an older one to the destination.
It's a great idea for a video.
Yeah, we've got to do a road trip. That we've got to do. Whether it's EV or petrol, we need to do a road trip video, without a doubt.
Oh, yeah. It would be fun.
I love that idea. I love that idea.
I don't even think it'd be that expensive to do. We've got to do Europe, though.
That Germany.
You know, yeah.
The Germans!
The
The
Germans.
quest. Can you drive an EV to Germany to get a quality pint of beer?
We would make it, but yeah.
Jim said, how about when Biden said, God bless the Queen? Little did he remember that Her Majesty was deceased and the UK had a king.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, he did do that.
Oh, dear.
I mean, we had this conversation the other day, didn't we, John? That the population of America, the enormous population of America, and the best presidents they can come up with are Joe Biden. I mean, really? I mean, seriously.
I just can't believe it. I think there's far better people.
And the likes of Trump that are wanting to be re-elected, is that the best they can come up with? I mean, what is that about? What is that about?
I think the thing is, because it's so volatile out there, the problem, this is what I realised recently, is I think the reason is, and I'm understanding this as I get older, is I want peace and quiet. I want to be left alone. I don't want your drama. And drama does seek me out at times, and I got to admit, I will lay in and probably make it worse when I should just keep my mouth shut. So, but I don't want that in my life, and I want peace and quiet. So, I think the problem is there's a lot of good people out there that would like to do it, but they know that people are going to be hunting for something they said on Twitter 25 years ago, or something that they said to somebody's grandma, and you know, I mean, they're going to have at some point in their life like put under massive stress, and I think that is the problem. And I will say, in Trump's defense, he handles a lot of that with absolute like total. It's like, oh yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Just water off a duck's back. It's amazing.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I really wouldn't. But is that the best? Is that the best?
Well, I don't know.
And I get it. I get the attraction to Trump. I'm not saying I'm a Trump supporter, but I get the attraction to Trump. But you think, is that the best America can do? Is Trump or Biden? No, like, seriously?
No.
I don't get it. I really don't get it.
But I bet the rest of the world is thought the same about Boris Johnson and Roland Rat. So
Absolutely. You know, it's a fair point. You look at British politics and you look at what we've got and you think, is that the best we've got? But that's because of the nature of how you grow in British politics. I don't know.
Money talks.
Yeah,
money.
Yeah.
Always the Red says it would be like Gino, Fred, and Gordon, but with beer. Mate, we've got to do it, haven't we?
It would be great. I mean, it would be great content. It would be great content.
Even if Chris, could we not do it in your camper van?
Yeah, of course we can. I'm well up for that. Let's do a trip in my camper van.
That'd be awesome because I hate camping. Paul hates camping.
I
Yeah.
love camping.
And you
I-
love camping.
I used to love camping. I used to love it. But I can't be sleeping in sleeping bags on the floor no more, man. It's not for me.
I do a lot of camping in my bell tent or my camper van, and I don't sleep in the floor in a sleeping bag. I sleep
I
on
used to.
with a duvet.
Oh, there you go. Proper bed.
I'm spooning with Chris. Sounds much nicer.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do a road trip.
Oh, mate, I would flipping love it. It would be
Let's do
great
it.
fun.
Tap rooms. Just do simple one. We could just do tap rooms in and around the country, places you want to go.
Why are we not doing this shit? We've been
should
friends
do
for a
it.
long time. We're
We
all
should
happy
do
to
this.
be close and up personal with each other. So let's do it.
It's true. We've done some hilarious beer reviews.
Yeah, we've done loads of beer reviews. We've done loads of lives. We're all good friends. So why the... I'm sorry we're on your channel, John. So
No,
why
you
the
go,
fuck
bro.
are we not organising road
Bullshit.
trip? Why are we not
Yeah,
doing it? We're not doing it. We do too much of this bullshit, chatting on a live. We're all good friends. When we could go and do road trips together and film it. Why are we not doing it?
Well, let me have a look at Easter then. I mean, I'm happy to drive down, jump in the old camper, and we'll just go somewhere hilarious.
Just
Film
do
it
it.
all.
We talk about it all the time. We talk about so much about we do too much talking. We don't do enough doing.
We
Need to
do.
go-
I agree.
need to go
Started
to
doing.
Missing Link. They've got a campsite on their brewery. Missing Link.
Yeah,
Really?
do
Yeah.
it.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
Do it.
We talk about it too much. Let's do it.
Right.
Let's do it. Let's stop
Let-
pissing about. Let's get
Let's
some
do it.
road trips on the go. Get some great content filmed.
We'll get it.
And
We'll get
do
it
it.
sorted. Get the dates planned, so I can actually
Yeah.
book some time. I'm not really going on holiday this year. I did a lot of traveling last year. I'm not really doing it this year, so we're going to have a lot of holiday to play with. So whenever we want to do it, it'll be easy.
Well, I've got no money anyway, so I can't go on holiday anywhere anyway. So if I come with you guys, you can pay for me anyway. So it's great.
We're chipping. We've got no issues of chipping in. Let's
I
make
know,
it
it'd be good fun.
But we're such good friends. Yeah. How many times? We're all three of us are good friends. We're good friends with obviously Tom and Mark as well. But most of the time we're on here doing lives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. We need to do
Let's
stuff.
stop it. Let's do some adventures.
I can't remember the last time I
We
saw
love it.
Tom. When did I last see Tom?
Yeah,
Can't
it's ago.
The
You know,
last time
we're-
I saw Tom is when I went and recorded a live stream podcast with him.
Yeah, it was.
And he's only like 2 hours down the road from my house. It's ridiculous. That's appalling.
You see,
Isn't it?
the problem all of us have, all three of
Hang
us
on one
it.
sec. I need to go for a wee.
Oh, off he goes. Off he goes. Conversation's getting good. Wee. But we do it, don't we? We talk. We talk a good whatever.
We're talking
But-
good game. Yeah, we've got to back it up and do something.
Exactly. We let
Do
life
something
get
epic.
in the way, don't we? We all get life get in the way, and that's understandable. I get that.
Yeah.
And I work shifts, and things are sometimes difficult with shifts. But if we all actually sat down and planned it, we could do it. But life gets in the way. I get that. I'm the biggest dickhead when it comes to letting life get in the way. But we could do it if we planned. If we all got together and got our heads together, we could absolutely plan it and do something epic. Whether it's in the UK, whether we go over to Europe. If we all sat down and said, right, here's the dates, here's what we can do, but we don't because we let life get in the way, and life's too short.
Exactly that.
We just need to do that. Like, you know, you and I met up the other night, didn't we, Paul, for a beer?
Mm.
And it was the first time in bloody months that you and I met up for a
Yeah,
beer. We 10 minutes away from each other.
that's it. It's been 3 months since we'd had a beer together, and I was like, how's that happened?
Exactly.
That's a
Because
quarter of a year. You know.
We just let life get in the way, and we all do it. And John's just been for a pee, but as I was saying, John, we're all such good friends, yet we let life get in the way, which stops us doing little mini adventures, doing things together. and we shouldn't. And like Paul and I have just said, we live 10 minutes away from each other, yet we haven't seen each other for fucking 3 months because we just let life get in the way. We need to stop that. We need to enjoy life, enjoy friendship,
Yeah.
and come together and start planning these things. So yeah, let's do a road trip. Whether we do a road trip in my camper van in Europe or in England, let's sort it out. Let's do it. Let's have great times together and film great content for all the amazing people that take the time to watch us. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's talking about it and do it.
100%. 100%. I think I'm on board.
Yeah, I am. I'm
John,
not sure.
you're on mute, John.
After John.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to shoot myself.
Sit there going,
I've got every bit of equipment you could possibly have to make a good YouTube live stream, and the basics absolutely, completely evade me. But yes, I'm with you 100%. I think it's funny because this week my mate sent me a picture, and it was me, Danny, and John in a car. And it was from a road trip we did to was it Stuttgart? Somewhere in Germany, and I don't know. Reutlingen. We went to Reutlingen. And there were 2 cars. We were all going to a conference. There were 2 cars. And we just road tripped the whole thing. And it was the most fun I've had. Like one of the best trips I've had. It was just lads messing about, doing stupid stuff. Like we put "honk if you're gay" on the back of the car in German just to annoy my mate. One of my mates is called John Lee, and we changed his name on that trip to Ken Lee. And then every time he went to the counter in Germany to any services, we started singing "Ken Lee, libby dibby doubt you." You know, remember that, that girl? And he would get Ken Lee anymore, and we still call him Ken Lee to this day.
John,
And it was amazing.
New England or West Coast IPA?
For me, West Coast every time.
West Coast every time. I've got 2 in my hand. One's in New England, one's the West Coast. What's the go for?
West Coast. Let's
West
do
Coast?
it, baby.
Do it.
All that piney, resinous gorgeousness. Oh, I've had that. It's a
Double
beautiful beer.
Oregon Trail. It's a double.
Double dipper.
Double
dip. But yeah, it's funny. I sent Danny a text and I said, you know what? I couldn't tell you what we talked about at that conference, but I could tell you everything about the road trip and the beers we had together and all the laughing and the pranks and just the total silliness. That's what I remember. Not. I couldn't tell you who spoke or what they talked about.
That is what it's all about. It would be wicked if we did a beery road trip together. It would be a laugh. It would probably be a laugh. Chris said it a second ago. Life's too short. And I remember when I was younger, I used to hear people say it. It never meant nothing to me. Nowadays, when someone says life's too short, it resonates.
Yeah, me too.
It resonates because when you get older, shit gets real.
Yeah, it's true. And
like,
you know what? We get tied up on. Oh man, like today, I had to make a point of like, right, today I'm not dwelling on anything negative. I'm not looking at the news. I'm not going to make a YouTube video, although I'm on here now.
Oh.
I'm going to concentrate. I'm going to do some things that I need to get the jobs done and out the way so I can relax. And I can concentrate on studying to get my truck license. And I've been dreaming about driving a truck. I've got a job there waiting for me. I am super. Do you know the mad bit is? You know, I'm always on about serendipity, Paul.
Yeah.
So my last video I did just a drive out in the murk with some chill hop music, just for people to put on the background. They don't have to pay any attention to it. It's just there in the background to watch. If you're from America and you'd like to know what it looks like where I live, that's on there. And I pulled up. There's one section where I pull up, and all the tipper trucks. That's the company that I've been offered the job with. And
Yeah.
and what are the chances of that? Like, I was in the middle of nowhere as well when I filmed it, and the best bit was I pulled out in the murk and there was mud all over the road, and I went. You can't see it on the camera, but I didn't even go that hard, but I just booted it. And the back end was like whop whop whop, and I was like, oh yes, yes.
Lost traction for a second.
Oh, awesome! I love my murk. I am so love my murk. The only problem is there's a ginger one in my house that keeps stealing it.
That's what gingers do, mate.
Outrageous.
But you let her off, though, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Oh,
This
he's
goes in.
muted. He's muted. He's muted. Chris is muted now. He's done the same thing.
As a
I'm not muted anymore.
I'm glad it's not just me.
Was it?
It's the Disco Master. Evening, beautiful beery peeps. Good to see you. The gang back together. Happy damn Tuesday night. Thanks, Disco man. It's good to see
I've
you,
been watching Disco. He's done a couple of updates from Perryvale Brewery, which is somewhere I need to get to. I was looking at the beers he's got in his glass when he does them videos. It looks good. You know, Disco's been chatting about Perryvale for a while. I need to get over there and have a look.
Very nice.
Does look good.
Have you got any space to park a camper van?
Yeah. Let's go to Perryvale and take over. Disco, come meet us at Perryvale. We'll be in a big red van.
Well, you know, Crummy's got his camper van.
Yeah.
So he had an idea because there's that brewery up in Scotland that's got a travel lodge right by it. And the original idea was they were going to drive in the camper, I think him and Mark. And then we were going to race them up on the train and try and get, because the train, travel lodge, and camping area are all in the same place, and who could get to the brewery first? That would be quite good fun. But that's a lot of money. I think people would be well up for seeing us just go out in a couple of campers and just go to some brewery taps and be silly.
Absolutely.
I think that's almost needs to be less complicated and just start off with some basic fun.
But you have to be particular about how you title the video, wouldn't you? And the hashtags that you use and stuff like that. If you wanted it to make serious, I mean, it'd be a great laugh for everyone involved, but essentially you want people to watch it, don't you?
Mm.
You know, and if no one watches it, it's a soul destroying, isn't it? A little bit when you put a lot of work into content.
Yeah, I think though, if we did it, we'd do it as a laugh, and you might find that it takes 4 or 5 videos before anybody even notices it.
I've got a prime example. So the Guinness Nitro Surge craze that hit YouTube last year. That video I did, my review of Guinness Nitro Surge, it's done like 18,000 views, something stupid like that. But my video at Guinness, at the Guinness Brewery, my walk around the Guinness experience and all that, I don't think it's done 2,000.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense, does it? Makes no sense. None whatsoever. People just want to watch what they can go out and grab anytime they want.
But does it matter? But, you know, the bottom
No,
line.
but yes.
I mean, one of my videos to do with Guinness is about using the pin trick in a Guinness glass. Oh, fuck's sake, Chris! One of my videos.
I love it.
But one of my most successful videos is about using the pin trick in a Guinness can, using the nitro device. There's had something like 40,000 views, and that's fantastic. That's great when videos get that level of views. But if the 3 of us or the 5 of us, if we include Mark and Tom, are out having a good time and filming it, does it matter what views it gets? If we're having a great time, who cares?
Yeah,
exactly. I think.
Yeah, but that my issue is I walked around that Guinness thing and I was worried that I wasn't recording enough. Do you know what I mean? Like I had to stop and record. I was trying to take it in myself, But now I kind of wish I hadn't bothered. I wish I hadn't bothered recording any of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get
enjoyed
that.
it for what it was.
I
know,
do get that, because there's certain videos where you think, I'll record this and it would do well and it'll get lots of views, and it's always nice to get lots of views. Of course it is. There's not a single YouTuber on the planet that doesn't look at a video and think, I'm a bit disappointed it hasn't got views, or it has got views. But what does it matter if friends are out having a great time and they record it and they put it on YouTube? If it doesn't get great views,
in the grand scheme of things, it means nothing.
Exactly.
It means nothing.
Exactly.
But if you're going to put the effort into YouTube and no one watches it, you're like, well, that was a load of fucking waste of time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I do buy into that, Paul. I do buy into it, and I get it. But if you're having a great time and you're with great friends and you've had an amazing time and you put it on YouTube and it doesn't get great views, so what? You've still had the most amazing time, and it's everybody that doesn't watch it are missing out on an amazing time. So who cares?
It might just be my issue, because if I try and document, I can have a great day out, but I very rarely have a great day out if I've had to document it at some point.
Right, okay. So
You know
for
what I mean?
me,
If I get my camera out, it takes something away from the day.
Yeah, I get that.
And when no one watches it, I'm like, well, that was a dick move. That was a waste of time. I shouldn't have bothered,
See, for me, I
Go on, Jack.
understand that, but I do enjoy making silly videos. And I think the only thing where that comes from is when I was a kid, me and my mate growing up, Steph, we would record like these radio shows, fake radio shows, and tell silly jokes and mess around. And we had so much fun and so many laughs doing it, and then listening back at all our stupid stuff that we said, that like I enjoy that side of it. And like there's a part of me that if we went all out and we record, like Paul, you wouldn't necessarily have to record either. We just make it and just have fun. And, you don't I've got all the cameras, I've got car mounts, I've got all sorts of stuff, and we just do it and we just piece it all together and make a funny video at the end of it. And if it does well, it does well. If it doesn't, it doesn't well.
That's how you've got to do it. You've got to have cameras. You've got to have cameras constantly rolling. That's the only way that you can forget about it. You just carry on doing what you're doing. That's the way it's got to be done. Otherwise, you take yourself out of what you're doing.
Yeah, a mate of mine has a channel called Hell on Earth, and it's him and his two mates. They've been doing it for years, and they'll just hold a GoPro. One of them's got a decent camera. One of them has, like, two of them will always have a GoPro that they're holding 9 times out of 10, or one will have one fastened to them. And then there's normally Lloydie's holding a decent camera, and he films like them doing stupid stuff, essentially, and they all just kind of mess around, and they just talk waffle, and they go and sleep in these bovies, and they just moan, and they take the mick out of each other, and that is just great fun. That's it. That's all they do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's really watchable, because they're just so daft. It's great fun. And I think if we did that, and we just we're getting in, it's just all the banter, isn't it? When you start taking a mick out of each other and the silliness, and that's what people want to see. It's just the fun.
Of course it is. And you think about the amount of time the three of us have known each other, but the three of us have actually, when you look at it, have never been together at the same time. And we've all got
beer festivals.
Beer festivals we have.
Yeah. Apart from beer festivals, but apart from
and in Paul's back garden, when somebody couldn't work out how to order an Uber.
Yeah, me and John were there. Chris wasn't there.
I forgot. I'd forgotten about that.
Chris was off his nut. At that point.
I need to get an Uber. What's an Uber?
Yeah.
On his phone. And then Abby had to do it for a video.
Chris was applying for a job at this stage. He was trying to become an Uber driver.
It's like, hang on a minute. I think I'm applying for a job here, not downloading an app.
I did. I actually applied to be an Uber driver.
Disco.
But we never filmed- we
Yeah,
never-
Disco. I
we
want to
never
come see
filmed
you.
any of that, did we? We didn't film it, and that was 3 blokes just larrups having a great time, and we've never done that. We've never filmed the 3 of us having a proper good time, a proper road trip, a proper doing something, and that's
That
what
would
we
be-
need to do. We need to do
That
that.
would be quality.
Yeah, we need to get on it. We should do
Luke
it.
John's in the house. Luke turned me a solid. Honestly, he did an absolute turn for me. When I went down to do the Welsh farmer protest, he was right there. Absolutely bailed me out big time. So I still owe him big time. We need to have an update chat about that because it's all gone very quiet. And there's been some sort of interesting things that have been said. So yeah, I think that's
developments.
yeah, there's been a few interesting things. When we came back from the farmers thing, see, I had really good reception from the farmers. They were just chuffed that I was there, that I was filming, that I was talking to them about what was going on. But then there were other people that were made to feel massively unwelcome. They're like, "Why are you here? This has got nothing to do with you." There were the guys from the Communist Party who were there trying to get people to sign up. And I think they might have underestimated farmers. You don't mess with farmers. They are like gangsters. You don't mess with them. They see the world in a whole different way. They basically got rid of those guys. And then we got on our live stream, somebody hijacked it. It was like, "Oh no, it's just been taken over by right wingers. It's terrible." It wasn't at all. But they were also getting cross with the people that were protesting against 20-mile-an-hour speed limits. So, like, we don't care about the 20-mile-an-hour speed limits. We drive tractors. We just want you not to try and steal our land. And yeah, so yeah, it was quite interesting. Disco is saying hello. Paul still does videos, though he's closed down his OnlyFans account. It's true.
What?
Hell on Earth is good. You just need to remember to put the subtitles on. It's only because they're from Yorkshire. I understand them perfect. Oh, that's an interesting question.
I don't know. I've never had a Perryvale beer. It's gone for a
Who
score
knows?
draw. This guy's gone for a score draw.
I talked bollocks for a few hours. Nothing unusual. Canterbury had a protest rally too. Oh yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah, I saw the link that you sent me. But that kind of fell on deaf ears. It's interesting though. There was somebody that came here who's a dog walker on their back, on the back of their pickup. It said, "No farmers, no food," and I was like, "Oh, okay, so it's reached Yorkshire then." Our man Tony says, "Back and OMG, this country has gone insanity." Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think America, UK, it's all gone mental. What's happened over there, Tony? What's gone on, Tony? Tell me.
Elaborate, Tony Tucro. Elaborate.
Tony. So there's a guy I know called Tony, and he has a company that's really cool, and they do lots of bar equipment and bits and bobs. And I'd always need something at the last minute, and Tony would bail me out. And I'd always ring him and say, "Hey, Tony, I need this thing." And he'd say, "Come see me. And then I'd go and see him, and he'd be like, "Not on a Friday, John. Not on a Friday. I'm always busy on a Friday." So we nicknamed him Tony, come see me. So, like, you can see Tony. Yeah, Tony, come see me. By the way, Pittsburgh, PA, the police has halted all calls. What?
That's mad.
What does it say?
That's madness, isn't it?
No.
So organised crime will know.
The police can't enforce that, surely.
So it says Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You're to commit a crime, do it in the middle of the night. LH, yeah. Haven't they gone back on that though, California?
I've got to read that again.
Trying to become it almost like an unpoliced state, but they realised how stupid that is.
What? I can't
Right.
believe that's a thing.
No. Surely that's not a police that have halted that. Surely.
Let's have a look.
La,
Children
la,
find
land.
out. That is wild.
Wow.
Berg. That's the thing. Wow.
Pardon me.
Here we
Sorry.
go.
Beautiful.
All right. Okay. Beautiful. It says here. Breaking news: Pittsburgh police will no longer respond to certain calls and will instead. Flipping news. What is it with newspaper websites? When you start reading, and it puts a pop up here, puts an advert for like Viagra or something else, and just all sorts of stuff, and then you can't find the bit that you were actually reading. What a flipping stupid ass website.
You get followed by Viagra everywhere you go, John.
Well, they know something about me. Right, so it's cut off half the thing, and now it wants me to pay a subscription. Good old, fantastic. Right, okay, try again.
We get a link.
Right,
Direct
police will
report.
no longer respond to calls that aren't considered in progress emergencies. That means crimes like mischief, theft, and harassment, burglary alarms will be handled by enhanced telephone reporting unit. That means residents will just file a police report over the phone, and officers will not respond unless it's an emergency.
Yeah.
But isn't that how Britain's operated for the last 25 years?
That's how Britain operates now, isn't it? They don't report to nothing. If
Yeah.
if you've lost something, if something's got nicked, you're screwed. That's it. It's nicked.
During the overnight shift, there will be as few as 20 officers to cover the entire city. A city of 300,000 people had 105% increase in rape from 22 to 23.
Dirty bastards.
The excuse given by the police chief is that only 8% of their calls come during those hours between 3 and 7. But I don't know, maybe this announcement wasn't the best idea because now criminals know their odds of running into police at night are insanely slim. You basically announced a purge at night in Pittsburgh. The city is too broke to police the streets at night. So now you can have at it.
It's a purge. They released them films, and now the police are admitting they ain't got the money or the resources to do their job. That's what people are going to do. They're going to go and start shooting each other up with it. Robbing liquor stores.
But isn't that how we operate? I'm sure that's how the police operate in the UK. If it's like, unless there is a robbery in progress, they are not going to attend. Could be days after.
No, you're wrong.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. To be fair, when my neighbour had her Range Rover stolen at my old house, they were there the next day. Wow. Adrian Woody's in here. Hello. How are we doing? I love this country. It's full of deranged, ragged folk who want to do better, but get shafted time and time again. Tax, by the way. Yeah, it's true. That's all we do. Police chief. I feel like the police chief announcing such a plan was probably not the wisest decision. I think if he'd just done it, nobody would have noticed. Adrian Woolley, how are we getting on, mate? Are you doing good? But whose work during the night, apart from us being YouTube folk, is true? And Paul fighting with his microphone.
I'll beat him.
All police and fire in Pittsburgh, all calls direct to a call service. Breaking 9/11 and on Telegram, insanity. And all, of course, indeed. John, did you see Dacia launch their new below 15,000 electric car? Oh, joy. So that'll be a Renault, an old Renault. Well, of course it is. It'll be so Nissan, Renault, and Dacia are all the same company. So it'll just be like an old Nissan Leaf, won't it?
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
No, 12 grand less than electric Corsa. I've had American beers. I don't think liquor stores need to worry.
You're drinking the wrong beer, Luke John.
True. In Denver, the government officials are cutting hours to cope with the migrants, and they are trying to hire migrants for police and fire. Wow. And migrants are selling their partners for 20 at Home Depot.
I'm not so sure they're selling their partners for 20 thing, but yeah, the same shit's going on in America that's going on over here.
Yeah, it's true. We have the ULEZ thing, and the amount of people. So there's a company in Leeds called Centrica, and they hire a lot of people to do their dirty work, like bailiffs or enforcement, or they do all the TV licensing nonsense that's in the UK, and they hire people for going and basically policing these ULEZ vans and ULEZ cameras, and a lot of them are people that are migrants that don't have the relevant qualifications. There's been cases of women being assaulted, driving without insurance and licenses, and it's just creating another nightmare for the police in London. So, yeah. Luke John, my Logan estate does 80 miles to the gallon and has no pounds road tax. Nice. It takes a couple of minutes to fill. He's got a petrol one then. Definitely not an electric one. We should all get classics and pay £90 a year easier than Happy Days. It's true. The only thing is, we all say this, but having owned a classic car, it's you spend a lot of time opening the bonnet. That's true.
Yeah.
When you look back at old cars, they were crap, weren't they?
Oh, they were. Of course they were. So unreliable.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the first time I owned a Honda, and I thought, "Wow, this is incredible! It works. What is this voodoo?" Adrian Woolley says it's a diesel. So Adrian Woolley, I met. Adrian Woolley found me on Food Tribe through the stuff that I'd done with James May, and yeah, we started talking on there, didn't we? Generators for Electra Tesla points says a lot in the USA. Oh, the diesel generators, I've seen them. Crappy cars, but more character, and let's face it, easier to fix. True. I just don't want to crash into a Range Rover in one, particularly. Oh, yeah. All right. What time are we on? I feel like it's really, really late.
I've got no idea what the time is. No idea whatever.
It's not even 10 o'clock.
Is it not? Shut up.
It's quarter. It's not even 10:15.
No way. I could quite easily go to bed.
I know. We're
It's
getting
not
old.
even 10 o'clock. Oh my god.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you
Crazy.
go. I was sitting here quite thinking, I think I've had enough beer. I could go to bed. It feels late.
Yeah. I got to admit, I'm on one now, and I'm like, I think I'm going to make this my last beer. I am
Yeah.
maxed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was Food Tribe during COVID. Yeah, I remember that. Sat in the middle of Wyoming at an electric charging point is like the lady who lived 60 years, then iron lung and died after a power cut. Not going to end well. Pacific time is 2:45 p.m. So we're on at 3 o'clock in America at the moment ish. Paul, can you believe it's only quarter to 10? It feels so late.
It's early doors. It's early doors, but we've been drinking since 7.
That might be the reason.
Yeah. So it's nearly a 3-hour sesh.
I think
And I've done doubles.
Bubbles. What the monkey?
Doubles. I'm on my second double IPA.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said you've done bubbles, as in the monkey.
Done bubbles.
Michael Jackson.
I've done bubbles at his monkey bum.
Oh dear. Yeah, almost 420, as Jay would say. Absolutely. Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh, you lucky
Nevada.
man.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I've got some friends in Vegas. In fact, Tony, check this out.
You've got friends in Vegas?
Yeah. I've got some friends. They sent me this.
Nobody wants friends in Vegas. Nevada.
Nevada.
Viva Las Vegas.
It's a proper embossed
That is
American
cool.
number plate. Oh, that's it.
That is cool.
That's cool.
I like it.
It's razor sharp on the edges. But it's hung on
That's
my
one of my
background.
favorite. That is one of my favorite Elvis tracks. That is, to be fair. Viva Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas. Yeah, it's true. It's good.
Set my soul on fire.
Oh my gosh, it was like Elvis was in the room.
It was spot on. That was. Great track. Elvis, legend.
Do you want to see? So the Americans, not all the time, he says.
All the
So
time.
that's an American number plate. So in comparison, this is a British number plate. Look at the flipping size of it compared to an American one.
And it's crap. American ones are quite nice.
So this, we have to have two. We have to have the white one on the front and the yellow one on the back.
Is it still legal? Is it still a legal requirement to have the one on the front?
Yeah.
It still is.
Yeah.
I see bare people driving around with no front plate on.
Look at this. It's got the original plate as well from the dealer that it came out of. Birmingham Central.
Birmingham.
So, yeah, that's where it came from originally. Been owned by a doctor. So yeah, I thought I'd keep the old number plates. It's got a new one now that says nerd.
So when I was in Tennessee, we had a Tennessee state trooper who was kind of entertaining the queues outside the Bluebird Cafe. If you're not familiar with the Bluebird Cafe, there's a program called Nashville, which is all about the music scene. And Bluebird is like the famous cafe where all the upcoming country performers go and play little gigs. So we went to the Bluebird, and there was the Tennessee state trooper who was there entertaining people, essentially. So he was off duty, but he was in his car, but he had his Tennessee state trooper plate on his motor.
No way.
I took a picture of it because I thought it was the bollocks, but it was a really nice license plate on his SUV, you know. So it had like a sunset and like hills, which is not sort of like the first thing you would associate with Tennessee, but it was just a really nice license plate. So I took a picture of it Tennessee State Trooper. Nice guy. Don't know his name, but he was a funny guy. Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
no, she didn't. Ready to have a Guinness? I am on the Guinness right
He's
now.
on the black stuff.
Jeez, every state has different. I've got another number plate up here. I don't know if you can see it. Will it come off here? No, because
What's everyone's favourite Elvis track? I think I've just admitted that mine is Viva Las Vegas.
I don't know if you can see it up there. It says CNH 320 Hazard 76 plate with a 78 tag. What could that possibly be?
Dukes of Hazzard.
It is.
Straight in there. Straight in there. Oh, look at it. Look at it. John, what's your favourite Elvis track?
Oh, I never really listened to Elvis that much. It probably is. If I had to pick an Elvis track, it would probably be like. It's not that I dislike Elvis. I've just never been into Elvis, but I understand why. I understand why people love him. But I think, it probably would be the same one. Yeah, Viva Las Vegas.
Viva Las
That's
Vegas.
the one
Great song.
if you
It's a great song.
don't step on my blue suede shoes.
Those shoes, a great track. A great track.
Yeah, that's a classic. John, have you seen an Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale? Stradale, that's how you
Do you straddle it? Is that how good looking it is?
Oh, Alfa Romeo have some beautiful cars.
I don't agree, man. I'm not.
What, the new Giulietta?
I've never been on the Alfa Romeo train ever.
Oh,
What? There's some amazing Alphas.
That's a
not.
car.
Nah, sorry, I've never been on it. Any car that has to have their license plate to one side of the middle of the car is fucked up. That's bad design for me. Land Rovers and Alfa Romeos can get in the bin. They can get in the bin. Anything that has to have the license plate to one side needs to get in the bin.
No, well, it just the Land Rover looks like this. That is a pretty car.
It's a bit red though, isn't it?
So,
Very
here's
red.
a fact that not many people know. But Alfa Romeo originally were faster than Ferraris. And it was only because Alfa Romeo got into trouble, they got bought by Ferrari. And then they kind of got relegated. But Alfas back in the day were faster than Ferraris.
I watched the Ferrari movie the other day.
Oh.
It wasn't very good.
Oh.
There's my review. Thank you. Ferrari, it's on Sky. Not very good.
Oh, no. No. Really?
Oh, dear. Surveys. Imagine doing surveys for EV charge points as a job.
So you need to come to my house, Adrian, because I kind of wanted to try an EV for the fun of it to see if I could have one. But my drive isn't attached to my house, and it's a brand new house, but there's no provision for EV chargers being put into the spaces, the drives they're not like miles away from the house, but they're not right next to the house, are they? So, yeah, sucks. A bit red though, ain't it? Yeah, I know.
It's true. I can't drive a red car.
Those red Land Rovers, lovely.
Pieces of shit.
That's like saying Tottenham are a bit shit.
This is coming from a Middlesbrough fan. Let me just say that into the mic in case you didn't hear it. Middlesbrough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been to
What do you-
Middlesbrough.
What are your thoughts on the Middlesbrough Football Club, John?
Well, they. I mean, they're doing all right in the Port Scratchings League.
Football Scratchings League.
They've been
That's good.
really, yeah, Mr. Porky's Port Scratching League.
That would be amazing.
It's one. So you've got the
I'm-
pub league, and then you've
I'm
got
sorry,
the
if there was a
Porky's
league
Port
that was
Scratching League.
sponsored by Mr. Porky's, I would start supporting the team that was playing in it. That's how good that name is. The Mr. Porky's League.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be wicked. That would be wicked. Yeah, but the geezer used to do grandstand. He used to give the full football scores.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
him now? It's like you got the FA Carling Premiership, and next up is the Porky's Port Scratchings National League.
I would love it.
That'd be so good, so good, so
Look,
good.
it's a real thing, Mr. Porky's Port Scratching.
Porky.
Look,
Porky. Oh, Mr.
It's a
Porky's, they're
I'm
not bad either.
Yeah, look, Mr.
Yeah, well, if anyone didn't believe you, yeah, Mr. Porky's Port Scratchings, they're iconic. Name
Yeah.
another Port Scratchings brand.
Mm,
You can't do it. It's Mr. Porky's.
all the way.
We all
Yeah.
like Port Scratchings,
It
but
used
there's
to
only
have-
one brand.
It's got like a really sinister. There's like a really sinister version of it, isn't there?
Well, the
With
one that looks kind of real.
They went. There's like one where I'm sure one of our early videos that me and Al did on this channel, we looked at the video for that brand, and he was like a butcher trying to chase his pigs to kill them. It was just brutal, absolutely brutal.
Got David Cameron.
Yeah.
Mr. Porky's, mate.
Middlesbrough, no borough in Middlesbrough. Bruh. It's like,
Sport
it's
Borough.
like bruh. Port Scratchings
Borough.
and Upex
Borough.
pies.
Upex. What's an Upex pie?
That's an Upex pie. I've seen that up here actually. It's more further north, if you know what I mean.
What is Upex? What is an Upex pie?
pies are.
I need to know. What
It's
is
just
an
like a
Upex
normal-
pie?
it's
Sounds,
just a
sounds
brand.
horrific.
Upex pies.
Upex. Upex?
There you go. Upex. Yeah, there you go.
That's just, is it a brand? That's a brand.
Upex.
Right, okay.
It is a brand, yeah. So
I
you
thought
would have had
it was a flavour.
what are they called now? Not Kingsters, pucker pies.
Pucker pies, yeah. So what? Pucker pies are cheap nowadays.
So
Get them in supermarkets. They're cheap. They're still all right.
full of lips and bubbles.
Puffy
Mr. Porky's are the finest, although creators now do puffy versions.
Yeah, puffy pork scratchings. Aren't real pork scratchings. They're
Hey
just
John, what happened
quavers.
to the brewery? Is Mr. Porky's? Are they the best? They are. They're not bad. The brewery. So I stopped working there because I got absolutely worn out of being in charge and trying to answer to investors. I got it through the pandemic. I built it up to where it needs to be, and in the end, they were asking me lots of questions and do this and do that. But the problem is, I'd have to learn every process and learn how to do these things and all that kind of stuff. And in the end, it was just not, my life was becoming miserable. So in the end, I just said, you get on with it. So I'm still trucking on. I mean, I'm still an owner, still own a quarter of the business, but I've left it in their hands. So it seems like they're doing quite well. So we'll know in a year's time, I think the phrase is.
Yeah, it's probably sad because I don't get free beer anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I still get a bit of free beer, but
So you should.
Yeah.
You're only a shareholder.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's all good. We're still going. The company's still alive. So yeah, I can't moan. Can't moan. My investment is still alive at the moment, which it might not have been. The best paw scratchings are the ones with little hairs still attached.
Everyone's been there. Everyone's been there. Everyone's pulled a fluffy pork scratching out of a pack, haven't they?
Yeah.
Oh,
You still at it, you dirty bastards. All of you. You know who you are. You all did it. You all let the fluffy pork scratching.
probably it's sack or something like that.
Some pubes on that one. Oh.
Curly wellies on it. Upex invented the Balti pie. No way. Nothing better than a Balti pie and a copper bovril on a cold set. Right. So I went and watched this football match at this really, really, really old football ground in Sheffield, right? And they had hot cups of bovril. So I bought one for my brother-in-law. We had the hot bovril, and it was amazing. So I went into Home Bargains the other week, and you could buy a whole stack of these bovril cups. It's amazing. So when it's cold, and you come in from a horrible freezing cold walk outside, smash a bovril.
Yep.
There you go. We have got 2 minutes, and we're going to round this up.
Boom.
2 minutes, and we're going to call it a night. Now it's Parmo buns and Coca-Cola.
FFS. Oh, for flip's sake.
For fudge squirrels.
I was gonna put the question. Are we having another beer?
I think we've had a good time.
We've had a good time. But now I know we're rounding up. I won't bother pulling another beer.
Chris looks like he's about to fall off his chair.
Yeah, I'm knackered. I was just about to say, I am done and I'm going to bed. And then you said, I'm about to wrap it up. So I thought, I'll hang on.
He's hanging in.
We've got less than a minute now. Less than a minute. My Google suddenly decided to activate itself because it's busy listening to all my conversations. By the way, my picture is the Peak District in Wigan last week was unpleasant. Why? What happened?
It was unpleasant. Oh, it was quite nice in that picture.
Oh dear! I'm trying to help somebody buy a car.
If Tom freezes, I think is he like frozen completely?
No, somebody sent me a message and they're like, I've looked at all these cars and they're coming back at this much insurance. There's a Toyota Auris coming up at $4,500 in Barnsley.
What? Who buys the Toyota Auris?
They are a good car.
Yeah.
And it's sawn, and he wants to pay $4,500 for it. Oh my gosh! It's worth about, if it's sawn, it's worth about £300. Honestly, people. Oh, by the way, Paul, the beat the Brummies tonight. That should keep the Villa fans happy.
The Villa fans, they got nothing to smile about. We absolutely shat all over their faces on Sunday. Boom!
Smashed them.
Smashed them up in their own backyard. 4-0 to the Spurs. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
Less than a minute. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
No beer in that photo, says Luke John. I was in Wigan last week for my sins. What's the thing? The Wigan kebab, where it's like a pie in bread, isn't it? They get or is it a Wigan kebab where they get bread, they put a pie in it, and then they put more bread on top, which seems like pointless. I'm on the lookout for Bedford Roma Dormobile. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Absolute nightmare. New mentioning Villa would perk Paul up. It's true. Well, look, we've got to go because I'm shattered. Chris is absolutely shattered. And Paul is dying to get naked, which he always does when we go off a live stream. So I'm going to say thank you, everybody, for joining us. Please go and check out Paul's channel, Paul's Beer Reviews. Go and check out Chris's channel, Chris's Beer Reviews. And please, if you've got this far, you need a medal. I'm the Nerd in Motion. Chris, how have you done fireworks?
Fireworks?
I've got no idea how that happened. I have nothing to do with that. I have nothing to do with that. I've got no idea how that happened.
What was that?
I don't know how you did it.
What did you do?
I've got no idea how that happened. That is weird as fuck.
What did you do?
What did you do?
Do it again. Do that.
I don't know how that happened. What happened there? What happened?
That was amazing.
That was nothing to do with me.
That's hilarious.
I thought you
That's
planned it. I thought you.
You did like thumbs up, and we're like that, and he just went. Oh my gosh!
No one will ever know.
No one knows how that ever happened. I don't know how it happens. It's nothing to do with me.
No one will ever know what the fuck just happened there.
Adrian says you need to spunk next time.
Oh my god!
Oh gosh, that
I'm
is hilarious.
crying. I'm crying.
Good night, everybody.